for 8 years now. He's guy. Sammy, I will call your name. I know your papa mate. Yeah, and stuff. Forget that we did the social media. Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned that I was talking about this thing. I only came here to say let's stop focusing on the president. There are 3 tiers of government in Nigeria. And I see that Nigerians always overlook these other tiers of government, the federal, the state, and the local government. They are a government on their own. They have a legislature arm. They have the judiciary arm. They have laws that they can make to make business and everything better in your state, to make security better in your different state and local government. But none of you ever open space or even talk about, let's even checkmate what these governors are doing. In the past 2 years that this president has been there, the most of their state governors, your state governors allocation has doubled. None of you is asking what they are doing with it.
Okay.
And I mentioned the guy called Parara, this guy that does this thing. That if even the 9 oil producing states that get 13% derivation from this thing, and this is different from their federal allocation. They are getting this money. You look at those 6 states, especially Bayelsa. There is nothing to write home about. You see the billions that they are getting on a monthly basis. So nobody is holding these people accountable. Now, this president has said, okay, we are going to be paying local government directly, not through the state again. They are getting the money. At the end of the day, none of you is asking what they are doing with it. They are not providing primary health care. They are not providing primary education. They are not providing anything to you. Yet, you want to blame the president for everything happening to you.
Round up 30
The local
seconds.
government chairman, the local government, wait now, the local government chairman is supposed to do for you.
Did I mute? I didn't mute. Oh. Sorry, but that was probably a mistake. Please round up. Something is going on. I think my co-host is in the limbo. Sorry about that, guys.
Yusuf John, now why they do like this? So ordinary water that these people are supposed to be providing for you, you still want the president to be the one to supply you water. And I'm pointing that a old professor, is blaming the president for water not running in staff quarter. Is that not nonsense? But no, you did not say all of that. You want to tell me it's because I'm Tinubu Klobota. Oga, APC. The guy that was this is not APC, it's PDP. So I don't know how that will take consign APC this thing. So Oga, stop this nonsense. Stop
it. Thank you very much, Etika Aka. Etika Aka is the only person that would find us speaking about issues and ask us to leave those issues and focus on what he wants us to focus on.
I came to sell market. Now the market,
give me
the market
give
they sell now.
me 2 minutes. Make I
This
respond to
is
this
the
guy.
only market they sell on this
Mute
app.
your mic.
Hold your government accountable. Hold your local government.
Make other people speak
That's the
now. I
market I'm
don't
selling.
Mr. Etika Aka, if you want to hold governor accountable, open space and invite people. Don't come and tell me what to do. Okay? When the day he enter my head, say I want to talk about one governor, I will do it. It's not you that will tell us. As far as today is concerned, the chapter of today's sermon is Tinubu's show of shame in Japan. And this is not my words, guys. It's not my word. In case you are thinking I am being rude, why should I be saying something like this? No, absolutely not. These were the words of His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. He was the one that said all those things the president went to go and do in Japan was a complete show of shame. In fact, PO actually doubled down. PO said that empty booth is a pointer, right? Is a pointer to all the empty promises this government has given Nigerians. These political leaders and opposition leaders, they have been savage with their what's your criticism of this Japan issue. But we are all looking we are not really looking at the actual issue here. So a private citizen who obviously must be proud that wow, his country is going to also be taking away so much gains from this particular conference. Guess what? Imagine an investor like Akinola Oyeye, who is a very passionate Nigerian, spent so much money to get to Japan. By the way, Japan is very far. Oh. Hmm. He even risked his life because Japan is known for very unstable terrain. Before you know an earthquake, pew, boom, you don't go. You know, but they risked it. They went there thinking they will find something, thinking they will find their countrymen, making them proud. Imagine the guy surprised. He got there, not one person, nothing, not even bird, not even eagle, nothing. And this guy, according to his post, he actually stayed there for hours, hours upon hours. Not one single official showed up. This is a program you've planned for. You know that you are going to go for over how many months. You already know. What is the excuse? Oh, guys, let's not think too far. They gave some excuse. And according to Ortega, the guy said Nigeria did not go to Japan for optics. In fact, somebody has come to this space to say that big deals, you know, big money deals are not made in such booths, right? That what nobody cares about. Japan does not care about whether we man our boots or not. According to Ortega, visibility is not a metric for success. It is value. That is what the rebuttal that the presidency gave. In fact, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or whatever they call them, came out to say that we are misrepresenting the issues, that particular booth will be inaugurated the following day. A booth inauguration. Nigeria, my country. First of all, Akiola Oye, did you attend that inauguration, Mr. Akin?
And I was told they did not have enough extra code to fund my trip to Japan. So I unfortunately could not make it. Let me tell you, man, these people are shameless. And I say this because, again, there's no way you find Nigerians and a reason for Nigeria to be represented that a Nigerian would not step up. And I say this because when I saw what that young man did, it reminded me of a conference I went for in Washington, D.C. in 2004.
But sure, say they still abuse that guy.
No,
Say they put the country in.
yeah, yeah, and I'll tell you what's shameful. So I went for a conference in 2004 in Washington D.C. Nigerian embassy was supposed to have a booth. I remember the same scenario, and the place was empty. And us Nigerian kids were like, "What's going on now? We should have it." And then we just all stuck there, and just made the best of our time. Now it was obviously a student program, but then you would think that an embassy down the street, well funded, that collects visa fees and makes all kinds of revenues, would at least have some sense to make it priority. But let me now go to Japan. I would have even thought that the next day we will see optics of President Tinubu having tea with this young kid that manned that booth. Any country that has responsible leaders that you have, the optics will be just the embarrassment. I say, okay, hey, oh, my staff, my contingent may have failed, but guess what? I'm going to recognize this guy because this is what we expect model citizens to do. Rather, you now have people attacking him and saying he's embarrassing them and people may lose their jobs. Then the topic or the question of inaugurating booths. So let's even say this, when you have round pegs in square holes or square pegs in round holes, this is what you have. A lot of these SSAs, SAs, appointees, many of them have never held real jobs in their lives. If they work for multinational corporations, they've worked for establishments that understand what it means to project optics, to again create visibility, have platforms where you can be taken seriously. Leaving Abuja or Lagos for Japan, they would have built their props, They would have printed all of the wall, hangings from agriculture to fashion to technology to even oil and gas. They would have even corporations that were accompanying them and say, okay, hey, you, subsea oil and gas startup with this equipment, let's go. You in, mining of minerals from Osun State with tantalite or whatever precious stones, let's go. They will build a portfolio of interest that you can take and say, okay, you know what? Whatever sector you're looking for, we have somebody represented here that you can interface with. Look at President Ruto of Kenya talking about, removing tariffs on avocado and tea, for exports. And what is President Tinubu talking about? Seats on UN Security Council. And these are same people that are talking about, oh, let's look for the value of the conversations, not the optics. Again, it's very shameful. A country of 200 million people. I'm sure there are Nigerians in Japan doing very well for themselves that they could have even called last minute and say, hey, oh, please, we flew in from Abuja. We could take in 2 bags. Our luggage, our bags did not arrive. Help us set up this place. I'm sure they would have gotten people to volunteer time. But because these people have 2 naira brain, again, I saw SSA media having tea the day of, whereas a boot is unmanned. And they're saying, oh, they went to Japan because they have, backroom conversations, trade agreements that they will sign. You see them coming up with all kinds of stupid, oh, we sign one trade, and then 3, 4, 5 years, you look back, nothing concrete. So again, I'm just saying, if you're Nigerian, you're in diaspora, you have kind of opportunities, please do what that young man did. I beg you. You may be angry with this government or ashamed, but as a Nigerian, first of all, step up. I think that's what we need to see. But secondly, if you support this government and you think that the excuses that they're putting out, including my friend Ortega, which again I called him prior, I said, bro, this excuse that you're trying to give these guys, you should be ashamed of yourself. You work for Boa Group. You work for Boa Group. Boa will not have an exhibition booth somewhere outside Nigeria to look like that. You guys can do better. Step up. And I think this reluctance to reprimand people that are underperforming in government in Nigeria is one I don't even understand. It's like once you get an appointment or a job, it's like you're untouchable. No, set examples. Demand better, demand efficiency, competency. But anyways, man, bro, let me not talk plenty. I mean,
Do you think anybody would be punished for this?
never,
Can we ask
never,
question?
never, never.
Deji, can we ask question, Deji?
Duro, I beg. I see, Joe. I have. See.
Maybe a
Akin is not.
question, maybe a question, just one
Duro,
question.
Mr. Akin is a busy man, and he has retired from politics. Occasionally, he comes out and goes back. But we are here now that we have him. I want to milk it. Thank you. Anyway, so
Let,
I
let,
was
him,
asking.
let him ask his question, though. Let him ask his question.
Yeah,
Eh?
he will. He will. I'm just saying you should chill. Let me so that. Okay, sorry. So I was asking if you think they will reprimand, but I think you already answered. So another thing is that somebody actually came to the space earlier to say that maybe we are not looking at the big picture, right? Like I think you also mentioned the fact that there are backroom deals. A lot of money is being announced. Somebody talked about Niger State partnering with Saudi. Somebody talked about the minister of mine. They said we are not looking at the big picture of all the gains that would come from this meeting. Rather, we are focusing on just an unmanned boot that only happened between so hours of the day. That why is that taking the headlines from why is that taking the focus instead of the other things that they are going to achieve? So the question, I guess, would be, and I think you also sort of mentioned, whether we would see any sort of trickling down to Nigeria. Have you noticed, let me put it that way, have you noticed any sort of disparity in what this government say they've been able they are what they announce to have achieved in all these foreign trips to what actually gets brought back into the country? Have you noticed any sort of disparity in that?
No, let me say this, for a government or for an administration that claims it has a city boy at the helm of affairs, I am ashamed. I'll never lie to you, and I say this with a lot of grief. Now, if we say we elected some guy out of a corner of a rural community that was popular and he amassed votes and he got his way into Aso Rock, okay, fine. You have a man that lives on Bodilon Road in Ikoyi, one that international airport is not down, is not too far from where he lives. A well-traveled individual. In fact, you can call him a de facto resident of Paris or citizen of France. He's seen better, he knows better. He equally again worked in Chicago. They claimed he worked for Deloitte and he traveled to Saudi and he built a career. He's seen the world all over. Now, 8 year governor of Lagos State, I was hoping he would have a portfolio with professionals waiting, ready to unlock the enormous potential this country has to offer. But then to just see the what I call abysmal results, yeah, you can give the president a few check marks in certain areas. Yeah, he's a tax man, so he's written a tax code that they are excited about, of which I'll tell you a lot of you should not be excited about the tax code because what those tax codes will do, we'll find out in 2 years. But this is not the space for that. We'll talk about that in another space. And I say this because you think of trade, you think of opening Nigeria, and again, and allowing the untapped potential of this nation's vast resources to become available to the Japanese business economy. You have to go there and show your best. When you go to these conferences, yes, the leaders will get in the back room, drink their tea, talk about maybe policy initiatives, trade agreement, tariffs, but then it's for the business community to have a direct one-on-one interfacing with each other. That's the value. It's not to pack a private jet filled with SSAs and PAs that are going to collect extra code, but you're just saying, hey, how do I unlock, mining? How do I unlock, railway? How do I unlock healthcare? How do I unlock, areas of, electronics or manufacturing? That's why you go to these expos. And it's very sad. If I even looked at the contingent, I did not even see captains of indoors. Okay, yeah, they had a nice showing when they went to France and the one they had in Dubai. But if I look at Nigeria, where we're clamoring for manufacturing, we're clamoring for sectors that can again create massive employment, unlock economic opportunities for local Nigerians. I didn't see that being represented. And I say this again, we have more than enough brain trust in that country, but they just need to be focused. Me, a lot of times when I see them go on these foreign junkets, as I call it, it's just vibes. Vibes. Who's going to climb private jet will climb private jet. Who's going to fly business class will fly business class. Who's going to send their side chick ahead of them on the trip? We'll go ahead and do that. Who will get the nicest hotel suite? We'll get a hotel suite. Who knows the nicest place? Go buy Prada and Versace and Gucci. We'll figure it out. But everything else that has to do with the objective of the trip, they always fall short. I think they need to just retool. And I will say this, they just don't have the best brains in the building. For a man that claimed he's been waiting 20 years, laying down like a leopard
But
to become
is
president,
that
to
is that
have
not
this,
are you not are you being fair to this guy? Because they said this is literally one of his strengths. They said he knows how to pick the best brains, Aki.
I think when it comes to aspect of trade, showcasing Nigeria on the global stage, I think they've fallen flat. Let me even say something. Now, as much as I may have worn an opposition cloak for a few electoral cycles, me, I got tired. I mean, opposition, incumbent, establishment, it's like we don't care as Nigerians. I'll give you one example: tourism, right? Let's look at tourism and let's look at the opportunity Nigeria has. Nigeria, more than half of the country is along the coast, along the coastline. So we have water, we have, you know, as they call it, blue economy, which again is the least performing sector or portfolio in this administration. I will be thinking that by now we are building, hotels on the marina to compete with what you have in Dubai. You look at, the landscape of oceanfront beaches we have, nothing's being tapped in that corner. Let's even go into music and the entertainment sector. I said something the other day. For the love I have for my fellow Nigerians, there's no concert in US, Canada, or within a plane stretch that I would not always be excited to say, you know what, let me buy a ticket, let me go support Rema, let me go support Davido. But then I'm like, I'm looking at this concert, these guys are doing amazing. Afrobeat is on the up and coming. Our food is being embraced. For every jollof, conversation on Twitter, there's a jollof rice restaurant or Nigerian restaurant in a local city in the US or in Canada that is going to get 2, 3, 4, 5 orders. That is how you export your culture. Now, you look at Ministry of Tourism, Foreign Affairs. What are they even doing to showcase Nigeria along with Afrobeat acts when they are on the global stage, doing sold out tours across the world? So it's not an APC, LP, PDP conversation. It's a Nigerian conversation. Okay, December is coming. What are we even doing? So, okay, you know what? We're marketing Nigeria as a destination. Okay, hashtag Dirty December. What are we doing at our airports? How are we even configuring our local tourism sectors? What hotels are we even adding to conglomerates and say, okay, we're going to rate hotel 1 to hotel 1,000. If you're coming to Nigeria, these are hotel approved by Ministry of Tourism. This is how we're supporting these hotels. I'm just saying, just so much on the floor, on the desk that is not even being touched. And again, for these guys, all they care about is jumping in and out of convoy. Who has the longest convoy? Who is staying in the biggest hotel suite at Transcorp? Who is able to take pictures with Mr. President? It's just again vibes, vibes, vibes. Zero accomplishments. Now, maybe there might be areas where they are making a few strides, but collectively, for the potential we have as a country, and again, this is not a political conversation. I'm just saying we want to see Nigeria put its best foot forward, regardless of who the leader is. And me, I would say this administration, I give them a P7.
Interesting. Best foot forward, regardless of the leader. It's just sad that we have to deal with one leader right now, and the one that is there is very clueless, and it is showing clearly, because a serious government that actually knows what it's doing will not allow what happened that day to just slide by. In fact, they will not even double down. They will not try to be forming what they are not. Like, you messed up, own up to it and say we'll fix it. Rather, what the next thing that is coming out of your mouth is, well, we are not going to be copying other countries that are manning boots. All these things is just for optics. And then in the next vein, you come back again to say we are going to commission the boot. I don't get it. You release a statement, and that statement. The only question I could ask is, if you think the boot was not necessary, if you think it was not that important, then why set it up? Why set it up? Why don't you just, go and be doing your backroom deals since they are not important? Anyway, thank
Ask
you,
my question.
Mr. Akin. Okay, ask your question. Ask
Let's
your
hear
question.
from
Ask
Ezeka
your question.
Hakabeg. I'm waiting for this question.
Thank you very much. I forgot the initial question I want to ask you. Why I agree with you that when you are going to such a program, you should go with your best foot and what have you. But I want to pick your brain on just one thing because it's where I'm is my field, right? Is where I work. So you mentioned the mining sector. Um, in your opinion, with this everything you think should be done, what do you think would motivate a mining company to set up
Is it
operation?
is it me or you're cutting out? I think you're cutting out there a bit.
Can you hear me now? Am I can you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah, repeat the question about mining. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so you met why I believe that the government should target some of the sectors in Nigeria for investment, and you mentioned the mining sector. And I wanted to ask you, do you know how the mining sector operates? And what do you think are the criteria for a mining company to set up operation in a country? Do you have an idea?
Yes, I have an idea now. I mean,
Can
it
you
goes to your
can you walk us through it?
So again, are you asking me about obtaining a license, operating local content, types of minerals? What exactly is your question?
My question is whatever how you want to answer it. I'm talking about the criteria for any mining company to set up operation in a country. Do you know?
I have an idea. Yes, I do.
Can you walk us through it, please?
So, would you be talking of a local company or a foreign company?
A foreign company like the Japanese company, because you mentioned that they should go for investors like in mining, investment kind of thing. So I wanted to know if you know what would take a mining company from Japan to come and set up operation in Nigeria.
Oh, so okay, two things. And I don't want to bore anybody in the space here. First, okay. First of all, you're coming in as a foreign business. You need a local partner. Okay, so you have to be incorporated. Secondly, you're talking about the particular minerals you're looking at in terms of the region. I can focus on Oshun, where I'm from, as an example. So you need to first hold an exploration license, from what I know. Equally, there's the what do you call it, operational standards you have to meet. Talking about I don't know if you've ever heard of something called COMEG, which is again, having a geologist for your team. There's assessments to complete, environmental studies. If you have a piece of land, and this is from me, one-on-one exposure in this sector. Now, I may miss a few things, so you tell me. Getting all of those approvals.
Uh,
Right, hold on. You're talking of EIA, which is impact assessments, which we don't do in Nigeria because it's a big area that I've even had tweets done on tax compliance, and then ultimately your license getting approved. If it's again, I've seen PPP, if it's standard local, or what they call that word is escaping me, where you're just a technical operating partner. So there's different ways to come in. Now, when I mentioned mining, right, and exposing Nigeria as a destination, if I were on the president's team, I would not just focus on mining, right? I would take sectors that for me are very important. Let's talk of cocoa exportation, right? I would take people that are very, very that have done the difficult work in that sector, have probably penetrated certain markets, and I'll put them in my entourage. Because again, look at Japan's economy. Nigeria has enough we can do in terms of agricultural exports. So you talk of mining. If I'm not looking at all of the minerals we have, barytes, limestone. Again, from generations, talk of first, second industrial, revolutions. These are minerals that are still in high demand. How are we putting Nigeria on the front burner, saying
Okay.
we should
All
be
right.
an option?
So
But go ahead.
Aki, just let him now clear
Ẹnu dùn
so that we
ròfọ́.
can
No.
understand.
So I've responded to him. I want to now.
Sorry, Aki, sorry. Please, I don't need any side comments. So Etika Aka, what was the point of the question so that we can get somewhere?
all right, thank you very much. There is nothing I can said here that true. I mean, for what the a mining company, I'm not saying they are not totally true. That is where they get to Nigeria. I'm talking about what they consider before they come and invest in the mining. First of all, they will look at what is the grade. Like you talk about your in Osun, right? The gold is gold that is there. They will look at the grade of the gold, because gold self get grade. You understand? They don't want the one that they will dig before they can get to the gold. So they look at what is the grade, and there is a technology they use to know that. Okay, when they come, they will look at the quantity of the deposit of that gold. How many years would they be able to operate? And when they bring certain amount of investment, how are they going to get it back based on the quantity of the gold? Now, there are different grades of gold. Now, if it's high grade, and it's not going to take them a too much resources for them to start processing and all those things. So all of these things is what they will consider before they come and
You've
even
only said
start.
one thing. Which is the grade? Which other
The
thing?
grade and the quantity of the deposit. Do you
The
want them to
quantity of
come?
the deposit.
Yeah, do
Okay.
you want them to come to the country and just operate for just 5 years after they brought
Etika,
billions
can we
of
ask
dollars?
you a question?
Yeah, you can ask me
No,
a
please.
question.
No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no,
Alright,
no,
let's
no,
move
no.
ahead. Let's
You
move
can
ahead.
ask
No,
me a
no, I
question.
beg.
Deji.
If it's on my new, you can ask me a question.
Hold on.
If it's on my new, ask me that question. I work here.
Etika, hold on. Don't be disruptive now. So again, listen, education no be scam, and you sound like you possess some academic qualifications, right? On a space like this, I'm not going to go elementary and start quoting every
I
single.
think you are correct, Mr.
No,
Kinshan.
no,
I think you're
no, no,
correct
no.
Not
based
saying
on
Akin is
how you
wrong.
understand the question. I
I am
think you're
not saying
correct.
that
Yes.
Odunayo. You
Etika,
don't
you
know
are
anything.
correct. That Akin doesn't know anything. He's just doing blah blah blah. He's looking for government.
Edroda. Mr. Said,
Let
what happened?
me educate
Mr.
you,
Said,
Odunayo.
why are you triggered?
My
Why are
question,
you triggered?
my
I
question
don't
was
understand.
not
Etika, hold on now. Must you
coming to
just
me.
chill?
I said
You see that
before, what are the criteria?
I've even muted self. I don't know. Just Mona, they relax. Etika, your question is a recorded space. Your question was clear, or maybe na me no understand. You say, what does what does an investor do? What do they have to do before they, come to the country to mine, right? And Ake reeled out the processes, right? You could have clarified that, what you meant was the initial investment decision, whatever. And you have already given us, which is fine. And of course, I think is more than that. And what Aki said is also not wrong, because as a company, when you are coming to the country, you have to do all these things. But yeah, I'm not, like I said, I don't even see the point of your question, right? Because I was trying to get to the point. What exactly has this question now? How has it, moved us forward with this debate? I don't get it. But at least we've established one thing. Etikaka, you are in the mining sector. Congratulations. Let's move on. All right.
No,
Uh,
Deji, no, don't do that now, Deji. This is my
You're not the
question. I
guest speaker
said,
here now. People have been here now. What's the
are the
problem? I beg, go
oh
sit down for
God.
one place. If you're not going to go, do me go job, I beg.
Eduro.
How do you want to make it
Etikaka.
like so that you did
Etikaka.
the call here? What's
I
the
no,
problem?
don't do that, Etikaka. I actually
No,
asked you what the
this,
point.
no, you reframe my question. I said, what are the criteria for a mining company to come to Nigeria? I did not say
A
for them to,
criteria.
for
And
them,
so who
they
is
have
setting
to
the
consider
criteria?
certain
Who is
factors.
setting the criteria?
Yeah, wait,
Maybe na English
what,
they worry all of
wait,
us.
what Atkins ruled out was when they get to Nigeria. On their own side, they have to
No, it's
decide
not
that.
when they get to
Bros,
Etika. They have.
at this point, I'm done. It's okay. Etikaka, you are right. I am wrong. Thank you very much. Let's move on. All right. God. Anyway.
Let me go, please.
Wait,
I'll
Oduayo. I need to confirm something. Yusuf, are you there? Because I need to leave. God, my co-host is in limbo. Jesus, this is not good. All right. When you have error co-host, that is what happens. Anyway, Yusuf, welcome back.
Make me a co-host now.
God
Make me a
forbid, God
co-host.
Are you
forbid bad
serious? We
thing.
dey drink
I'm
beer
a
for
vet.
here. We dey drink alcohol for here. Go where they drink alcohol. Go do this one now.
All right. So, guys, please, sorry. Let's do it this way. Imam
Let me ask you
Edro
finish. The
now. I
one
don't want to
minute
drop you,
now.
I beg.
Just give me that one. So
No,
it on
no, no.
George now.
Wait. I'm about to leave. Let me just set it so that everybody is aligned. All right. Odoayo we go. When it's done, Imam of Hope we go, because I don't even know whether he's a he or she, but the person has been here for a while. Mr. Said will follow after Imam of Hope, right? And then Yusuf, are you back? Okay, Yusuf can take it from there. All right.
I'm
Thank
back,
you.
Deji. Now, MTN has
And
been
my head
messing up.
catch you. Now my head catch am.
All right. All right. All
Anyways,
right. Go on. Go
thank
on,
you so
please.
much. Yeah, like first of all, this young man here actually he shows very well that like who don't do they drink like when you drink
I'm not
overnight,
a
carry
young
come
man.
out again.
Your partner.
I don't
I'm
know.
not a young
Can you
man.
keep quiet? When
Please,
you're
I'm
speaking, I
not a
kept
young
quiet.
man.
If you
please.
cannot keep,
Just focus on the topic. Leave Etika Aka here. You say he's not a guest speaker, but you are making him the subject of the conversation. Please, just
when you call
focus.
my wife, you hear with your ear
Oh,
and
you
you
called
blind
your
your ear.
wife?
Are you
Ah,
serious?
okay. Sorry,
You
sorry.
hear when you call my wife, not hear that time.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go on.
Say you now you
Shut
talk
up your mouth and
yesterday.
stop
oh,
being
say
stupid.
your
If
wife
you
dey
say you didn't hear me,
Nigeria.
the way I go just bust you for head and you go stand up your mates.
Oh
You
yeah,
talk say your wife dey
I
Nigeria.
will
Now
Me
you
and you
talk.
talk
Yeah,
about,
go
talk about
ahead.
my wife. God punish you. Work for me. We talk about my wife.
yesterday night when you dey talk
Me and you
about
for
woman,
yesterday
you
night.
are
God
like
punish
you
you.
say your wife dey Nigeria. Now you
Are
talk
you
am.
serious?
Now you
Why
talk
for
am.
beat you?
You
I better
yes
remove this
for
guy for this
state.
place. I beg, not going to talk anything. When you talk, I kept quiet. What's the problem?
Yesterday
I'm
night,
not gonna make an
dey
argument with you at all.
you give
I'm
woman
gonna
money,
react
you
to
no give
my
woman money.
issues as
You give
in
woman
accordance to
money, you no give
how I
woman money.
believe
I
to
dey
how I
there.
believe it to be.
You say you give woman money, you no
Yusuf,
give
can you
woman
put this
money.
guy?
You talk
Can
say
you
your
put this
wife
guy to
dey
his
Nigeria.
taste?
You
This guy
say
been
your
speaking for
wife dey
like 1 hour
Nigeria.
here. Then you cannot do anything, yeah?
Talk about your wife. You talk about your
Sorry, Deji, what's the queue again? You say after Odwanyo, who is going next? I'm trying to.
Imam.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, so please stop interjecting him. You can have. Please, no interjection. If you interject again, I'll remove you from the space. Don't interject. Odwanyo, speak.
It's a very simple thing, right? When a young man come here and start saying, "Oh, government supposed to do this, government supposed to do this one," a little research will have told you that government, even local government, cannot even provide water for you in Nigeria. Is that they don't have constitutional mandate to even do so in the first place. So a little research will have told you, but you claim to have studied in Europe and Canada, but a little research will have saved you from this public problem you are creating for yourself. You claim here that local government have been paying money directly. Under which law are they doing so? Is that section 162 where that's still very extant because you don't read and you come to public and make poor nothing on your head and you call yourself professor. Anyway, professor maybe that's on the school they teach. But
bring that
can you keep
constitution that
quiet?
says
I'm not going to.
local
I say
government
when
cannot
you speak,
provide water.
I kept quiet when you
Bring
speak.
that constitution. You are a
I'm not the
lawyer. You are a
me.
lawyer.
Are you the
Bring
arguing
that
that the case?
constitution.
Now go
Let's
tell your
bring
father
it
that
out.
one. I beg keep
Bring
quiet.
that constitution. You
Yusuf,
say you are a lawyer.
if
You
you
are
not give the guy quiet, if you not do this guy anything, that means they not know what to do here. So that's the
I have removed
intention.
him, please, because
My
I have
intention is
removed
not
him,
for you
please.
to
Can you
argue
speak
with
on?
me because I cannot argue with you. How can you be an old man? Your brain of a fish, neither your brain, neither your head. So it's simple. Nigeria constitutional arrangement is very difficult to understand that even the local government job, what is obtainable in other parts of the world, is what Nigeria even the president of Nigeria can do so. And I've argued in previously that as even the nothing stop the local government, federal government of Nigeria to even provide primary school. Nothing stop them. I did not see it. I've not seen it before. Somebody showed me first schedule second items. I said it still does not cure the intention of the federal government to do any of these things because we have a very lopsided system where federal government of Nigeria is in everywhere. What did I say? Is in everywhere. 68 items under the exclusive list, under the arrangement we have today, is what the federal government does almost everything. And under the concurrent list, the federal government still has power to even do many things against the states. So what it means is that the federal government is just like a Busman where there somewhere, they checkmate every children with around him. And this is arrangement in Nigeria. And you want to compare it with America or with Canada, or which country you want to compare that with? Before you go compare Nigeria with Canada or America, you go look at what is the law book, what does Nigerian law book says. That would have saved you this public this thing. Go and look Nigerian law book. What does it say? Did it say this thing the way they talk about? I mean, to say Nigerian constitution, they be like American constitution, the first way they come argue Nigeria and America at the same time. It just shows that you don't even know anything. Or else you will tell you you don't do things anywhere. What Mr. Akin talk here? How does it concern even tilling of the ground or trying to do anything? Because you don't have anything. There's no nexus. There's no common nexus on these issues. But you know what? You just brought it to show say you want to tell us say they work for a year. And the question you asked Akin, in my own opinion, that was what even though say Akin was not the person you asked the question, that's how I would have understood it to be. You say, what do business, what will I look at first? What will I do? Aki was even answering your question. He took Deji to tell you, say, this is what is your intention of this, your question. For you to say, if they are coming, you can see that this guy is drunk overnight and the thing carried him over this morning. That's how the kind of character we have in Nigeria. These are people that are supporting Tinubu. They support Tinubu for everything.
And Aki will answer on TV. Let's Aki high to call the one.
No, Aki, you see, that's what we're going to ask you. You cannot give it graphically the way it's supposed to be. But I think everything is supposed to be done was said there completely, if you ask me. Right? But if you go there, you say, okay, how does it affect the question or discussion of the Nigerian government failing continually and even failing to the extent that they are giving you a kind of petty answers that they are trying to inaugurate a booth? Can we how many people inaugurate the booth for that country, for that place where they do those things? But that's our country. Anything can go, anything will go. And one young man here, he said, don't travel around the world. Only to tell you, say, get 3 passports. You get this one, you get this one. Whereas, small things like this, you don't even know. You see, Nigeria problem and Nigeria challenge is like Obi said, the boot as open as it is, signify how open and how the promises that the president don't even know that he's made in the first instance. So when Buhari was made, I say, oh, you say $1 to $1. I say, me, when did I say so? So if we meet Buhari now next Tinubu now, you say, when did I say all this? Because he doesn't even understand what is in the constitution, what is in his manifesto. But one young man, when they suffer for one place when they day, if Nigeria is good for you, why not come back to Nigeria and live that your country where you don't come up from? Only you don't school for the whole place. Why not? We not see you like when you go school. I don't see you when you go school for there. Why must you go that place go do your masters? Only you do different work they do for master. They do masters upon master because you want to stay back in your country when not concern you. Why you come back to that same country, the complaint people they rule your country know they do and well. I never see that kind of irresponsibility to that extent. Like your country is not working. And you know it's not working. But because the person when they work for there is for your village or your community or your religion or your ethnicity, you just can't to support it. And you say you go school. Your school is failed already. Your school is failed. If your school have not transformed your mind to reason beyond your pedestrian thinking, then your school is a failed one. That means there's no logic, there's no critical thinking in your processes, and there's nothing can be obtainable in that sense. Nigeria is our country. If Nigeria is not working, we have a duty to say this country is not working the way we want it to work. This is a country. This Nigeria is going to tell Black Americans say, oh, there be this one, there be this one. I go, they wonder, how do you people do these things? When your country, you leave it and you argue for one old man to come and rule you, one criminal to come and rule you, but you're telling the Black Americans how the Black Americans should leave America, how they're not doing well, how they are lazy, how they are this. If your government is not lazy, why are you in your country? You left your country to another person's country. You're not telling the investor how they should leave their own country. You can see that kind of busybody. That's Nigerians for you. This young man that feed the 10 person waiting for the country say, you're not supposed to do it here. You're not supposed to do it like this. Whereas you leave your country, that place, they support waiting not get head. That's why yourself say you be professor. It's unfortunate that you don't even have a picture to your face. You don't have an image to your face. You say, you can argue. Because you don't even need to tell me. Your former account, I blocked you because I knew very well that how can somebody get drunk in the early morning? This is how people put their country in trouble. People when they rule Nigeria, they drunk in the morning. That's the reason why we get where we did. I can tell you for free. Because even the statement that Tinubu made on the inauguration day, that first subsidy is gone, it wasn't made on the clear eyes. It wasn't made with sanity. It was made clearly on the influence of alcohol or something that are external factors. And you know what? We cannot go back to that thing because this thing has been said. I cannot say, oh, let us go and amend it. No, it will live with us forever and ever. And here you are, come here to argue anything. Why don't you come out to your Nigeria and leave your Nigeria while they argue about a country where you did? If we open booths and we not start to inaugurate before we can open business for the day, does it mean that we are serious people? Yeah, you are. You're arguing for it, and people are coming to tell you, oh, they have it. How do you do these things? Last week, yeah, this week again, Shagun that came up. He said, oh, what's it called? Dialysis machine is 12,000 naira. He mentioned some places. Unfortunately for her, my sister worked in FMC for more than 10 years before she left Nigeria as a nurse. And that is this unit, that's where she worked before she left. And I said, this is the way that they talk now, true. Check your hospital, check your colleague, ask your colleagues question. The answer is no. Fortunately, I was able to see it from one doctor guy, with this great doctor guy, and said he made call and he asked his colleague in University of Ibadan, and they were still collecting huge amount of money, and that was against what the president is saying that he did. This is a government that you are defending. The government that does not even know his left from right. That's what you are defending. I feel that if I supported Tinubu as a person and I see that government is doing wrongly or are doing things that are wrong, I should be able to call them out for it. I don't support it because if it's about Nigeria, it's not about Tinubu, it's not about APC, it's not about religion or ethnicity, it's about Nigeria. Then you should be able to call even your father, even your father and I president of Nigeria, you will call him out and say, this thing you are doing is not right. And that's kind of person. That's why even as a like this, they will be. I go criticize you. Even as a Buhari day, I criticize Buhari. People are you sure I supported him? So I do not have the right to criticize him. Like I believe Nigeria more than Tinubu, more than Buhari. I believe Nigeria more than Tinubu. All of them together, believe Nigeria more than all of them. So do you want me to believe one individual because I support him? I support him because he will do wrong. I will not support him and sit down on it. No. We need to draw a map, a line on these issues, and know that there's a love to your son individual, but the love to your country is supersede to any other thing. That country where you don't go, that Canada where you don't go, that social where you don't go. Now the country they love, that's why they build the country. If they do the way you think for your head, the country will not be like that. Still for people go they do visa. People will just behave anyhow and do things that are hypocritical. Country is not working. You know it's not working, but you sit down and support it because the person is a tribal man. God forbid bad thing that education will not make me not, my education will not lift me enough to think for my head. God forbid bad thing. Thank you so much, Deji and Yusuf. God bless you.
Okay, the next person can go, please. Etika, you can request back the mic. I dropped you because you interjected. The next person has, you have 10 minutes. Sorry, is anybody speaking?
I think it's Imam. After Imam is
Imam
Said.
is the next. After Imam, I'm the next.
Imam, you have the mic. You have the mic, please. You can.
Said should go, please, if Imam is not available.
Yeah, next speaker, next speaker.
Sorry, please, I should go. After 8, I come in. I'm in the bedroom, sorry.
Okay. Let me
Okay,
take
I'll have
over
to
then.
drop you. We'll drop you, then you
No,
bring it
no,
back
no.
when you're
Oh,
ready.
then I should speak now, then. So I'll just come out and speak. Because I've been here for a very long time. Anyways, my own opinion is this, right? If you're expecting this government to do well, then you are on a long thing because it's never going to happen. You know, these days they start gaslighting us that we have to give them time. And I'm guaranteeing everyone that even if you give this government 200 years to come, they'll still not do anything because even the process that brought them to government in the first place, we are not legitimate. You see how they they came into power and everything. So I'm kind of surprised when people feel like, oh, they will do well, they will represent Nigeria well. Look at what happened in Japan. I wasn't expecting more from this government because they are nonchalant. They are not here to, you know, they're not here to lead you. They are not here to. They're just here to play their politics and for their selfish interest. You see what is going on in the country, and then somebody will come up to, try to gaslight us. I've been saying, what's that guy's name here? Saying a whole lot of things, and these are not fair. If you're a Nigerian and you love this country and you want the best for this country, you feel like, okay, someday that this is where your children and then your children would be. There are things you wouldn't do. You will protect the country. You will not side someone who you know that this person doesn't have integrity, doesn't have what it takes to lead this country, and then you vote them and defend them just because they are your tribesmen. When you know this country belongs to all of us, and we don't have any other country to go to except this. So I'm not going to come here and speak too much, but I'm going to, speak to your minds. I know most of you, even though you are doing some things for interest, you have conscience, and sometimes you think. So when you go back to your bed or your quiet place someday, think about your life, think about your opinions, and ask yourself, is this what I want for my life? If Nigeria was to be your company, would you allow such person to run it? Look at the kind of people he is running the government with. Look at how nonchalant they are. Because if no be see finish, why they will go Japan, come represent us like that? It's a lot to talk about this government. That's the way they see you. They don't take anything about this country serious. They are just here to loot, show power and everything. Look at the one we have here in Abuja. Look at Wike. Some persons will be like, okay, Wike is doing fine. Wike is building roads. But where is the orderliness in our government? We don't have people behave anyhow. People are not nobody follows procedures again. So one thing I'm telling you is this is going to get worse. If you think it's going to get better, no, don't worry. There is this saying that it's actually the good people of in a country that allows this kind of less humans to remand our positions, and then this is the result of the kind of people we vote. And some of the reasons why we vote them are always because of tribal reasons and religion. These are the only reason why this kind of people are actually. Some of you here have been listening to you guys. You guys are way more intelligent than Tinubu and some of the people there. So why are you not there? Because you will still keep supporting someone as if you're slaves. So I'm not going to speak much because I know that most of the things happening in this country, you all knows, even the persons defending the government, they knows what is happening. Thank God social media is there. We are seeing everything. So we know that this is the worst government we've seen in years, in decades. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The next speaker can go, please.
Yeah,
Thank you. Please, I would like
thank
to
you
say
very
something. Please,
much.
the next
Yes, I
speaker,
think I'm the next one. So thank you very much. Thank you, the people on the speaker session and the listeners. So let me start from where the last speaker ended. This country is one of the best country on this planet Earth that have all the natural resources and the human capital resources with the best weather where we will be able to farm all year round. So as Nigeria has ever been Eldorado? No. Nigeria has always been complaining. From 70, from 60 to 70, went to war, civil war. We came out of the civil war, we still complaining. Military era in 80s, 90s. Now we are in civilian rule. From Obasanjo till now, we are still complaining. If you want to rant, you continue to rant. You will not see the positive. It depends. That's the way I see Nigerians. There are Nigerians that see positive and they work towards the positive. There are Nigerians who see negative and they always complaining and rant about the negativity. There is no perfect country in the world. So, and there is no perfect government in the world. You choose where you want to be and you continue to rant. If you want to rant, you have enough factors to rant, to complain, to see negativity, and continue to live in negativity because that's what you choose to see. Why the people that want to see positive and improvement and development, they will continue to see it, seize the opportunity, make use of it, and be better for it. So I think that's the way Nigerians are. So it depends on the people to take the path they want. The government that came in 2 years, we wanted to solve the problem we did not solve in 60, we did not solve in 70, we did not solve in 80, we did not solve in 90, we did not solve it in 2000. And we want this government to solve everything in 2 years. It's not possible. Unless if you want to continue to rant, you will continue to rant. How do you want Nigeria that is battling 4 megawatts of electricity for the donkey years to quickly have 100 megawatt of electricity in 2 years? Is that not wishful thinking? You want the same Nigeria that have 130 million in multi-dimensional poverty. You want them to quickly become prosperous in the same 2 years. That is wishful thinking. So the country are built step by steps. There's no magic anywhere. No government will do magic. They are going to run with the resources you have. The same Nigeria that complain that the contingents to UAE are too much are the one complaining that they are not mounting boats in Japan. Where do you want to be? Stay in one place. So the same Nigerians that will be telling you, yes, this government are supposed to reduce the cost of governance. They are the one that will still turn around and be telling you they need to bring people that will exhibit mining agriculture, exhibit culture, pack adire to Japan. So we need to choose where we want to belong to. So for me, this country, this
Mr. Said,
government,
we're not saying they should pack their direct to Japan.
Yusuf,
They are
you did
Nigerians
not
in Japan.
interrupt other people. Don't
You still allow
interrupt
him
me.
now.
I'm a
Let
host
me
now. I can
finish.
interrupt you. I'm a pro. No,
But
I
you
can
did
correct
not
because I'm not speaking to my
you
topic.
did not do this to
I
other
can
people.
interject you.
You
Mr.
are
Said, I can
you are biased,
I don't want to
Yusuf.
talk over you.
This is
I don't want to talk over
biasness.
you. I don't want
This
to
is
talk over you. This is not
biasness.
bias. I've been listening to you.
You
I'm
let
not
me
being biased to
finish.
you.
Then you put
I can
your
interject you. I'm
you
a
can put
co-host.
your
You understand that?
you are
I'm a
co-host,
co-host,
but
so I
you
can
did not do
interject
it
you.
to other people. That shows that you love what they are saying. When I'm now saying something contrary,
I gave you time to
you
speak.
are
You are still going
distorting
to.
my
I'm not saying that you're
thoughts.
going to stop.
You are distorting my thoughts, Yusuf. Let me finish.
Okay,
Then
please
you
round up your thoughts. I can ask you questions.
you gave me 10 minutes. Let me finish my 10 minutes.
You can't hear him. Oh. Is somebody speaking?
Exactly. I can't hear anybody. So it's not nobody is saying that they should pack Adire and take it to Japan. No, there are Nigerians that are living in Japan that can fix our. Why is the place empty? Speak to the topic. Why was that place empty? Etika Aka said that, that when they snap that picture, they've closed for the day. What does it take for you to set up your stand in Japan? There are Nigerians that live in
Yusuf,
Japan.
can
You're
I
telling me,
talk?
who is
Yusuf,
going to
can
pack
I
Adire?
talk? Man, talk.
You say I'm gaslighting you. Where's the person speaking? Where's
I
Mr.
think he's
Said?
dropped
Or
off.
who was it?
He's dropped off.
Okay, go ahead. Take the mic.
Let me this thing. You would have waited for Saeed to. When I see these honest people, these are the people who lie to themselves and at the same time expect things to move well. I wanted to ask him a question. When you hear people like this, it's either they've never worked before, and if they've worked, I don't know how to put it, so let me not say what I don't know. But why do you change staffs, CEO of businesses, and the rest of them? Why do you change them? It's because what? One wasn't giving you the right focus or the right direction or propelling your business to a better height. And that's why you sacked the person. Or you probably retired the person and bring in new people with new challenges. I hate it when we bring people who we say can change the tides of this country and people start making excuses for them. What is the job? Why were they employed? Why were they employed in the first place? I hate it again when we come out and say, oh, whatever has happened in Nigeria.
Sorry, Charlie, sorry, I beg. I don't do this because I have to leave. But this guy is making me. He's saying that I was unfair to him for interjecting, and why I did that was because he was pushing this topic that the same Nigerians that want government, what do you call this? They want to restrict government from overspending or spending lavishly. Those same people are telling me on the timeline that they can't be packing Adire from Nigeria to Japan. Who is telling you to pack Adire to Japan?
No, you see,
There are Nigerians that live in Japan. What? There are
Yusuf,
Nigerians
calm
that live in
down.
Japan that will bring
Yusuf,
the
calm
Adire
down.
for you.
Yusuf, calm down.
But
That's his level.
no,
That's his
it's
level. Wait
annoying.
now.
And he's telling me that no, I
No. That's
interjected
his
him.
level. See.
You come and be gaslighting people.
Do you know one thing? Do you know why I love a society? Do you know why I love a society filled with mediocrity? It's because you don't need to do anything because you have mediocres making excuses for your stupidity. That's one good thing about a society filled with mediocrity. People would always come out. It's in this place. People will tell us, oh, they've done this, they've done this, they've done that, they've done that. It is this place. People will tell us they've done this, they've done that, they've done that. And I keep asking. There's one of my famous quotes that St. Augustine would always say, an unjust law is no law at all. A half law is no law at all. The fact that this law favored me and is not favoring the next person is never a law at all. So I don't know where people got that. I don't know where people got that mentality that, oh, they've done it and it is happening this way, then it should be this way. It should work for everybody. And like I've always said, there is no just system. We agree. But they are fair systems. Fair means it is accessible. Fair means if Odetola can do it and get punished, I will do it and get punished. You don't need to tell me trade deals you've signed. You don't need to tell me all these unimaginable things that we are seeing. Nel Fund, blah, blah, blah. And I see idiots online happy for such projects. And I keep saying, if I want to design even MMM as a fraudulent, as a Ponzi scheme, people cashed out of it. Does it make it a legal scheme? Even the ones people are doing today, are people not cashing out of it? And people will say, oh, go and ask this person, he made from it. Oh, go and ask that person, they benefited from it. Oh, why didn't you get it? Oh, why didn't you do that? Oh, why didn't you do that? Anything that you can do. In some societies, if you want to apply for a job, they'll say, take off your name, your school, anything to put an identity over you because they want to make it look. And they use what we call a safe application. These are government bodies running this application model. And guess what? Third parties do it and send to them. And they say, we've picked from this. Maybe anytime we would want start, maybe now when you don't call enter panel to face. But the importance of that sieving method or that, how will I call it, sieving method means your person if you not even enter that pool. So you have no choice than to conduct something that looks fair to a very large extent. My own is, if 200 million people cannot feel the impact, then there is no impact. And I keep saying, when a president stands to make an oath, there's one thing he says that is his number one primary responsibility. Number one. Number one, as all of us did like this, for those of you who have children or family, you have number one thing. You can pass the remaining 10, 9 things. If you cannot sustain that number one primary fabric, you have failed. You have failed. Nobody can this thing. Nobody should negotiate it. And what is the number one primary responsibility of any goddamn government anywhere in the world? Is the security of life and properties. So for your guys here, the government can start putting 10 billion in each of us pockets. But for the fact that I cannot drive safely from Lagos to Osun State, the government has failed. Because if you go to his checklist, his number one is to protect my life and the integrity of my territory. And I want to ask Said, do I need 60 years to do that? For people who open mouth and say rubbish. Does any serious person need 60 years to do that, even if it crumbled for 200 years, to make me safe? Two, what is the second thing? The welfare. The welfare of every Nigerian. That's the second thing, oh, as a primary responsibility to make with it. You know this thing I'm saying? We're not talking about road, oh. We are not talking about this thing. Welfare means human growth, human development, which involves what? Education, health, and the ability to seek opportunities equally. Is it happening currently in Nigeria? The answers are there. The answers are there. Then, thirdly, you cannot talk about infrastructure to match those human development or whatever you want to do. If you have fantastic roads and people cannot still plan that route safely, have you done anything? And that's why when Aki was answering the guy, who will come to a country that is not safe to come and invest? And some people say, as you're all doing this thing, people are still coming in Nigeria and investing and blah, 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 blah. At, at whose detriment? At 200 million people's detriment. You know what they do? You go to the bushes in Falgun State where you see these Chinese buy land, and guess what they do? They develop and produce and create their own security. They bribe the police to harass the citizens of that place. You go to Zamfara where they are miming goats. What is happening there? It's all about cabals and gangs and guns and everything. This thing. But imagine if it has done, it's been done rightly. It is safe. That Chinese man doesn't do not need to worry if tomorrow Aki will be the president or Yusuf will be the president because they believe or he knows continuity and stability will happen. They don't need to worry. They don't need to create chaos in my state or in my country just for them to do their businesses. They don't need to. And in all this, somebody will say people are coming. To what detriment? Have you ever looked at it? Have you drawn up the statistics? Some of them, some of those big businesses are even ashamed to name their business portfolio as people who are doing that business in that place because they know that if it's being investigated, what will happen? Everywhere goes scatter. Most of them are probably listed in New York and this thing. Have you looked at businesses or people that have been buying businesses in Nigeria in recent times? Can't look at them. They're not listed anywhere. So what it means, they don't care. Scratch my back, I scratch yours. And we know the harmful implication of some of those business portfolios coming into this country that support corruption. Tomorrow they'll be the one funding gangs and criminals to protect their business interest. I mean, you'll be asking ourselves, why are we not safe? And guess what? The government will not say anything because they do what? They knew everything went through the back. We saw what happened in the telecommunication saga that came into this country. While others were selling theirs for less than how many $1 million, Nigeria jacked up their own. And when these guys came, everything scattered. A lot of people might not be able to connect to this. Not be all these new people who just start Twitter yesterday. The firm said they know history and this thing. Even as at the time it came, we were struggling to merge. But Glow came and looked as if, oh, it is possible that some of these things can actually happen. When some people told us no. But guess what? They paid through their asses to get those licenses to operate in our society. And now we've carried it and now we're displaying it internationally. And somebody is telling us that we should not carry Rapan at the rest there. You said you wanted to be there. You said you want to represent 200 million people. Possibly extra codes and provision of funds were meant for those things. And I'm sure with the Nigerian context of doing things, those bills were inflated. And at the end of the day, what happened? Nobody to show. We can keep making excuses. We can keep doing what we want to do. Some people want to still vote and support who wants to support. The reason why Tinubu is there, whether he came in there by omission, by permission, by the right channel, the truth of the matter is the reason why you ask for change is for your life to change. Not because I want to stay there and give him excuses that, oh, whatever is happening today happened 10 years ago or 50 years ago. He cannot do 2 years. Then let him get out from there if he doesn't have solution. We didn't bring him to do it slowly. We brought him to make what? To make impact. He came in there to do what? To make impact. And the impact is not telling me that my reserve is growing. What is the importance? What can anybody tell me the meaning of that? You grow the reserves, create a very healthy space, and what do? You borrow more money and you tell the world blah blah blah, and it doesn't still come back to to add this thing. Then all of us, some of us who are very intelligent will start bringing what is America doing? What is this doing? What is that doing? Please let us not come here to ask how long will it take somebody to change things. That was the reason why he was brought. And like I said again, some of us have worked in places. The reason why you're brought is to make impact. The time you start from 2015 to this, we kept hearing it was PDP or the damage PDP did. Nowadays, we are not hearing it anymore. What are we now hearing? You cannot change Nigeria overnight. Nigerians are not asking you to change them overnight. We're just telling you to be responsible and put checks that consequences should be melted when rubbish happens. So, for whatever happened in Japan, if somebody had put his foot down or the Minister of Tourism to say, those people, this, that, people would begin to change. Erica was talking about governors and this thing. Nigerian, see, Erica, it is about, how will I call it? There's what we call, I don't know the right word to do, but it's called an effect. If the president is firm, responsible, accountable, and is discharging those duties diligently, I swear down 36 governors will be whooped into shape. Ordinarily, if the president is a no-nonsense person, that ripple effect will trickle down. Because you know why? The same way the president can wake up and remove a governor because they say they blow one pipeline. It's the same way the president will wake up and say, oh, look at this state. I gave this guy so X amount of money and he couldn't account for it. Do you want him to continue? Do your vote diligently and fairly. I will support you. You can't be harassed and be bullied. Do you think that governor will come back? If the president has assured the people of that state that he's going to bring security for them, he's going to protect them, and they should let their choice reflect on the ballot box. What will happen? You will see governors sitting up to do the right thing. Because my people talk saying the only person when Papa say man go thief, they used to like break door. It is the useless, irresponsible act of leadership that anybody, even an SSA, will wake up and do rubbish because there are no consequences for actions. So my brother, leave. If we get president with this thing, in as much as everybody get their duties, if we get judiciary that can speak true to the common man, if we have legislative that can stand and tell the president, stop this rubbish, it won't happen. People will be confirmed, beaten, and whooped into shape. And lastly, for me, do you think these guys abroad are better than us? No. If you know the definition of man, the Bible even described it. That intention of man is desperately wicked. The heart of man. Do you think these guys, they love following the rules? No. They are human as you. They are not different from you and I. But the only reason is that they know that if they take the wrong turn, something will hold them accountable. They know. And that's why they wouldn't want to try that. And I keep saying, if America was Nigeria during the time Trump, after his first tenure, if America were to be Nigeria, do you think Trump wouldn't have rigged that election and everyone? Things for them just go say, nothing will happen. Because every of his body language showed that he could have done anything. But they had institution that that had to checkmate and this thing, and even after he left, he had some legal issues. By the time we fix accountability in our system, institution to hold these people, all these governors where you think say no get sense, you'll be shocked at the marvelous ideas and creativity that some of them might bring to the table. Not the one that will steal $25,000 in America and come and be president or commit one or two crimes abroad and come here and pick one political post. I'm talking about the everyday Nigerians who have seen not doing the right thing as a way of life. Guys, Nigeria can be better. But if we don't fix all this, if not like, we'll still come back to square one. Thank you.
Yusuf, why did you move me down and allow that guy to insult my father? Yusuf, why did you do that? I would like to respond to him in just 3 minutes to respond to him. A whole lawyer,
But I
lawyer.
hear say, but no be you first call him in wife. I don't understand.
Now he call him wife by himself yesterday night when they talk about giving women money or we not giving women money. Now he talk about that. Wait till they talk now. Ask him the space he was until 10 a.m. my time yesterday. Ask him where they were in the mud there. Wait till they talk. He said, wait till I talk now. He talk about himself. Wait till they talk. He said wife in Nigeria. Well, nobody talk. Well, so what did I say about his wife? Did I insult his wife? He said his wife is in Nigeria. Then what exactly is it in the US? How did he get his paper? He called me asylum seeker here, here that time. So when he called me asylum seeker, make I no clap back. I clap back at him. That he's also marrying Akata for there to get paper. Let us everywhere scatter now. I wait till they talk. You call me asylum seeker, make I no clap back at you. You the data Oyibo for there to get paper. What about that? What do you want? What do they talk? Now let us go to the real issue. A whole lawyer, he call himself lawyer. He said there is no part of Nigeria constitution that details the function of local government. How can a lawyer say this thing? How can a lawyer, a thinking lawyer, Nigeria constitution outline the function of each elective post in Nigeria, all of them like this, outline it, what as their function. And this one is coming here to say a whole lawyer. And this is the thing I see in some of these obedience. I'm sorry to say that they will know the truth, and they just because of their political bias, they want to lie. You want to tell people in a 300 people space like this, say the Nigeria constitution does not have any part that details the function of a local government chairman. Like, I don't understand. Have you gone to the constitution at all? I mean, section 7 is very clear. Section 7, chapter 1, part 2 is very clear on the function of local government. Number 1, construction and maintenance of local road, drains and public utilities. Number 2, oversight of primary health care and sanitation. Number 3, management of primary education and literacy program. Number 4, collection of taxes, rate fees from market and motor parks. Number 5, support for agriculture and food security initiative. Number 6, registration of birth, death, and marriage. Number 7, urban planning, including street naming and house numbering. Number 8, licensing of shop, restaurant, and advertisement. So what exactly is this lawyer? This guy that calls himself a lawyer, he's a lawyer. He doesn't know that this section 7 detailed a lot of things about the function of each of these elective posts in Nigeria, including the judges. Everybody is there. Then you come to this place like this to come and disgrace yourself and disgrace the Nigeria Bar Association, disgrace the law degree in Nigeria, to say in Nigeria constitution does not have any part. There is a federal government can do kiniko. Like, I don't understand how Yusuf, you were thumping up for him. You were giving him 100 a whole course that cannot say, Oga, stop now. Is it that you people, because you hate Tinubu, people don't like to hear the truth? Now, all these function, this 8 function now, let's assume that each of the 774 local government in Nigeria, they are performing these functions optimally. They are delivering on these functions. We know that one problem has been solved. We face the state governors. The state governors also have functions under the constitution that they should perform to every citizen. Let us hold them accountable to that function. That is the only thing I came here to preach. Now, I can't tell me to say, I don't understand. See, I didn't Odunayo, whatever they call your name. I know you are not Odunayo because you are a Delta Igbo boy. Don't come here say you be Yoruba. You are not Odunayo. I know your former name. You understand? Don't come here and you don't have brain. The place where me I don't present papers. They don't bring your papa where to go.
Ethical hacker. Okay, hold on. So question for you. So let's hold on. Let's keep it civil, huh?
No.
Wait, hold on.
Now. You were there when you mentioned my father. You were there.
Hold on now. Let's not descend to the gutter. So
you never stop him. I don't like this thing.
Bro. There are people in the audience listening now. Hold on, and they are probably on speaker. They're in the office. There's probably a white man sitting next to them. The last thing we want to be doing is
this same guy mentioned my father now. You did not stop him. This same.
All right. So Shebi will not tell to book padà báyìí. Àbí kí la tún sọ báyìí. Oh, Shebi, you don't talk your own. Let's move on.
They want to ask me.
Still... Sorry about that, guys.
My own point is very clear, Deji. Nobody should come here and lie on the Nigeria.
Please, Etika. Now only you now you bring up this argument. Now only you they argue only you that you did the space. They talk another thing. But it's all good. Let's move on.
No, now Odunayo came here and said, I make a blanket statement now. He made a blanket statement about Nigeria Constitution. That Nigeria Constitution does not give function to local government and state government.
So,
Federal that can do
bro,
everything.
we are
Is
going
All
to
right,
be
hold on,
bro.
guys,
Let's
How
hold
keep
we
the
on,
energy
challenge
hold on,
him?
level of this space very high,
hold on,
please. I
guys, hold
beg.
on,
We've heard
guys.
you. We've
I'm
heard you.
sorry.
I
I
beg,
need to
Deji, take the
quickly
next speaker,
do
please. I
something.
beg. I beg.
Twitter is messing me up. Twitter is messing me up. So, um, Samye and Gidado Jumbo, guys, I'm imploring you, I beg. Twitter is still seeing you as speakers. Can you please leave the space and come back? Because it's not allowing me fill up the speaker section. I beg. Okay. So who is going? I don't know what's going on. Was Akin speaking?
No, I was just saying, taking. I was going to ask Ethical Hacker a question, but it would just lead us down a rabbit hole, so no need. Yeah, take the next people on speed. I like to
Okay,
hear
you
other
can ask
perspectives.
me. Let me tell you,
No,
Akin,
no, no, no.
it is
Let's
the
hold the mic.
energy. Do
Let's
no,
hold
no,
the mic.
Akin, wait. It is the energy somebody bring to me that I will give back. Okay. If you bring an intellectual argument to me, I will face you intellectually. But if you bring that robot in your own, I will also give it to you. I get both. You understand? I get both. I will give anyone where you give to me, and I will give you. That's
No, no,
equal
no, no,
energy.
no,
So if
no,
you ask me a
bro.
question that I will answer you. It's very simple.
That's why Ethical Hacker. Thank you. Let's give others the mic so it doesn't feel like there's monopoly here, on the stage. But Deji, back to you, Yusuf.
Okay. Thank you. I'm not sure anybody is still speaking, but let's move on, I beg. Um, get Piggy. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Oh.
Please go on.
Thank you, thank you. So I'm going to speak in PG because everybody has been talking in English, and I think some people's reasoning is not sinking into why we are upset with the president. So please permit me to continue in PG. Okay, so to Said that was saying Nigerians like to rant. While he was speaking in network off, is he not going to be upset and rant to that network that they should provide him uh, good quality service? Is he not going to call their customer care and say while he was on the space, the network dropped and uh, and uh, and his call or his interaction was dropped while he was making a very important point? Yeah? In fact, I'm sure that Said will even go as fast to tell MTN that they must pay him for the inconvenience. If that is for his own phone network, how much so in terms of our lives as Nigerians? Hmm? Then someone was mentioning that what is the point of a booth in Japan? And me, I said, why do you think the Japanese set up a booth? Why do you think they are asking you Africans that are coming over in droves to set up a booth? A question was asked about mining, whatever. I don't know about mining, whatever. But if you know that there are mining companies in Japan who want to come and invest here and they are hesitant in coming here, you as a Nigerian government going with an entourage, we know that, okay, in terms of mining, these are some of the questions or some of the gray areas that these companies might might have, or they might be reluctant to come to Nigeria. Okay, let's put up a presentation slide. Let's showcase those things that will make them want to come, whether it's the grade of the ground, or even if the gold is 1,000 feet below the surface level. The ground is composed of so many simple materials that you can break through the surface and get to that gold. Okay, it's like they say our oil is easy to get to, unlike if you go to Saudi Arabia, right? Oil dey ground, it is how you can get to it, abi. So you showcase all those things as opportunities and you put it up in a booth. A booth is the best form of selling yourself. After all, when the Western countries they look for human resource, when they want all of una to japa, did they not come here and set up booths? Why did they not go and sign an agreement with the government so the government will start releasing people to go? They came here, they show you information session as booths. They tell you how wonderful their country is. They tell you all the opportunities that they have. Their schools will come here, they will set up booths. They will tell you all the benefit that you will enjoy when you go there. So why is it that we will continue to hammer on agreements? Agreement that we've been signing since 1960, 70, as that as Said mentioned, that nothing has changed. So why do we keep on repeating the same process that is giving us the same awful results? Why not act like the Japanese? When Toyota was coming to Nigeria, they set up a booth. If you don't know, go and find out. They set up a booth in relationship, I think, with Costaris or whoever at that time. They will tell you good product, good. What was that motto that they used to advertise on TV? Shang Shang Chai, blah blah blah. Good product, good value, or whatever was their thinking. They set up a booth. Nigeria, we used to do our trade fairs. What was that trade fair in Lagos? I can't remember the full name anymore. The Chinese, that's how they got into our market. When the Sonys and the Sharps and the whatever we set up, their stand and showcase to you a TV, a Chinese company will show you a very cheaper version of that television, or an imitation of a blender, or an imitation of an air conditioner. Is that not how they started to get into your market? How can we now be saying when you want to set up a booth is not important, it's trade agreement? Is the booth only for the government of Nigeria? If Nigeria today was to invite Japan to come over to Nigeria, is it not for us to set up a booth? Is it not for us to tell the Japanese to even set up a booth? Let the Nigerian consumers know what they have so that we can go there and buy. So how can you be going to Japan? You want Japan to come into your market, or even us, we want to see what's in Japan. That we cannot tell Japan, that we cannot set up a booth to showcase what it is that we have here. And someone is telling me that they will sign backyard agreement. What is the backyard agreement supposed to be about? Are you telling me that all the small business in Japan cannot come to Nigeria to invest? Must everything be the all the big scale companies? Can one small scale business in Japan not come to Nigeria and open a supermarket? Must everything be big that's in trillions and in billions? If small scale businesses from Japan come to Nigeria, don't you know how the economy will look like? So please, let us get it very correct. A booth is very important. There is no event that is held around the world that does not add a booth. Even if they are discussing about the world affairs, whether it's war, there must be a booth. You need to showcase what your weapons can do before you even go and sign any agreement with any government. I want to see what weapons you have. In fact, I want to see it. In practice. So what is the big deal that we cannot set up a booth and man it properly? If other African countries were setting up their booths, even if it's to showcase a beautiful woman standing there, it just lets people know that this country is beautiful to come to. What is the big deal that we are defending and saying what's the point of setting up a booth? We should go and be signing trade agreements. Who trade agreement help for Nigeria? All the trade agreement where we don't sign. How has that been an impact to our country? Let's be able to talk to power. You can be a supporter of whichever political party or whichever political person, but you should be able to at least talk to them and speak to them to say, this is the way to go. Even you yourself, don't you want to go and showcase your products in Japan? You say that you are a miner. Don't you want to go to Japan and show them? A very good example was made by Akin, where he said that a startup, an oil startup, can go to Japan and set up their equipment there and say, come on, I want to work in Japan. This is what I do in Nigeria. Or, we need support here in Nigeria. This is what we do. You guys are experts in deep sea, whatever. Let's change our approach. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
I don't know any of the admins here.
Deji, you know, I don't sleep.
Anyways, I don't think I'm going to be here too long, but I'll say this, right? Nobody wakes up every day to bash the government or the administration in power, right? We all want a Nigeria that works. We want a Nigeria where we can make the most of our lives. You know, if as a Nigerian, they ask you to write on a sheet of paper, your quality of life, your world, your life outlook. Are you going to have a Nigeria that meets your expectations in the next 10 to 15 years? You know what the average person's response is. So when you run for office, you campaign and you clamor for power and you get that power. When the citizens make demands, don't say, oh, 2 years is a short window for turnaround, or 3 years is a short window, where again the party in power is the party that's been in power for the last 10 years, now going on 11 years. So nobody's asking for miracle workers or magicians. I think, if anything, Nigerians are the most patient citizens in the world by any standard when it comes to expectations, of good governance. So you cannot ask a citizenry, filled with people that are very patient, people that drill their own boreholes to provide water, build fences, barbed wire, aluminium proof, burglary on their windows to secure themselves, or people that again will go out of their way to fund their kids in private school where public schools are falling apart, or would not even wait for a public health center before they seek treatment. You cannot still now tell this group of people who are not even used to driving on good roads that they are demanding too much from a government. It's unfair. So when I hear people come up with these, types of feedback, like, Sahid and a couple others, I ask myself, what planet are you living on? So again, it's just very frustrating. Now, unfortunately, we have a country where the worst of us are often the most motivated to find their way into political office, and we should be asking why good people are not running for office. For me, every day I wake up and I challenge a lot of my friends. I say, look, you have all of the qualities of an amazing leader. Run for office will support you. So again, I think for many of you equally, that no good people that are private citizens in the private sector, push them into higher office. Because again, these charlatans, you have an essay or an agbero that finds his way to becoming a technical consultant or a technical assistant to a politician. How do you expect them to produce bills or policies or implement, again, life-changing projects that you can say, okay, you know what, in XYZ shape or fashion, this would impact my life? And yes, somebody said something about, local government administration, state governors being held accountable. I totally agree. For me, first line of defense, your LGA chairman, your state governor has a lot more to impact your life in terms of projects and policies than the man sitting as a rock. But I think, again, because of how we've been configured as a nation and we have absolute power dwelling as a rock, Nigerians feel that all the solutions to our country's problem must come from Aso Rock. I totally disagree. Yes, a good leader can, can cascade policies down, but at the end of the day, each state governor is the CEO of the state. They are given budgets, they have allocations either from VAT or from oil revenues or whatever it is. We need to demand more, we need to expect better. And then there's this bad habit we have where we only care about elections. I don't give a damn about elections. I care more about governance, right? So if I come out of election and I get an Atta chief Labour Party into office in Etiosa or Soke constituency, and he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, I call him out. I don't care because, oh, maybe I slaved, I put my resources on the line and I elected the guy and I just let him run without accountability. No, checkmate these people and then remind them, say, okay, look, oh, 4 years from now, don't think you're going to emerge back in that seat. And I think if we all have this attitude, regardless of who we support or what platforms we favor, we'll probably see a different attitude. Because again, if one person out of 10,000 is, speaking truth to power, challenging those, that have been elected to usher good governance, and 9,999 are docile, guess what? The guy will believe the will of 9,999 to keep being useless is, the expectation. So this, oh, let's discuss 2027, but leave everything that in 2025. Don't worry. On go to 2027, the person will elect to fix it. No, it's a lie. If you cannot demand from the person that is there today, whether you voted for them or not, don't think that the one you vote for 2027 will be any different. I totally disagree. So I think, again, as a country, as a nation, we need to change our attitudes. We're very comfortable. We know how to suffer and smile in silence. We need to break that chain, that chokehold. I used to always abuse my parents' generation. Now I'm seeing my own colleagues, my friends that I will sit down around a playground in secondary school or primary school discussing these issues, having the same attitudes of my parents and their generation. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? Maybe we're not redeemable as a nation. It's just vibes and, oh, all we can only hope is by extension, the person that we like or the person that we root for is the one in power and we turn a blind eye. Please, let's change our attitude because a lot of you that are on this space, I'll go out on a limb and say many of you are in diaspora enjoying dividends of good governance and democracy and functioning systems. But then you want Nigeria to keep being stuck in the vicious underdeveloped cycle that we find ourselves. I mean, come on now. You cannot be unfair to your fellow countrymen. So look, I don't have all the answers. I'm just saying we can be different with our attitudes. Support who you like. For me, live and let live. One political party, as I see today, is not even better than the other. But I would equally remind you that APC has taken this country farther backwards than any other administration in the history of Nigeria's existence. Abacha did not even do the kind of destruction we're seeing today. Neither did Babangida. When we think of, again, that's in my own lifetime. I was not here during the Obasanjo era as a military president, or neither was I here in the 60s. I'm just saying, in 2025, if you're a young person, you make 500,000 naira a month, you can't even afford a Toyota Corolla that is 15 years old to Kumbo. Even if you save for 2 years, it is shameful, it is heartbreaking, it's crazy. When you talk of the Nigerian dream, what is the Nigerian dream as a young person? You're 22 years old, you have a job, make 300,000 a year. You can barely buy a round trip flight, Lagos, Abuja, talk about even paying for a 40,000 naira hotel. 15 years ago, you could, with income of 60,000 naira. I say that, yes, for many of you that may be young, 15 years ago, 60,000 naira, you're chilling. You could buy a round trip flight for 11,000 naira, Lagos, Abuja, buy standing fan for 2005, eat shawarma for 600 naira. I don't even need to go back quoting what the value of the naira was. But where things are today, trust me, nobody should sugarcoat or put band-aid on bad policies, terrible economic situations we have to live with, because for people like me, it's just unfair. It's unfair. As a matter of fact, by Nigerian standards, if I was in a different country, I should have joined a terrorist group, because I've seen network destruction personally like I've never seen anything in my lifetime. But again, as a country, we're still very kind, we're generous to our political leaders. We become extremists, blowing bridges or bombing cars or setting their houses on fire. We tolerate Nigeria go better, Nigeria go better is what we keep saying to ourselves. But maybe at some point we need to change those attitudes. Because then again, these people will not keep taking us for a ride, and for supporters of these people that think that, oh, status quo, things are bad before now, why should things be bad today? Things should be better today. I don't understand that logical. I just don't. Anyways, have a fantastic day, guys. I'm going to withdraw here. I like coming on spaces once in a while, but I'm going to retire back into my hole. Deji, Yusuf, thanks for having me.
Okay, I don't agree with you that APC is destroying Nigeria. I just feel like it was a systematic destruction from the previous leaders that have refused to take the bull by the horn, who continue to pay subsidy, who continue to make policies that are not economically impactful. I believe that a lot of these leaders in the past, from 1999 to date, I don't want to go to the past before 1999. All of them has been part of
So
it.
you want to keep blaming PDP for the last 12 years of
I
APC
don't want to
failures?
talk
Is that
about
what you
the
want to
blame. I want to talk about the policies that they would have, deliberately put in place to.
But was the APC against subsidy? What was the APC protest against subsidy for? They didn't know what they were doing. They were
No,
not
it's
thinking.
not about subsidy alone.
Their brains are not hatched.
Why
What was the difference?
did PDP kick against the petroleum industry bill? Why did they not pass it?
Brother, stop shifting goalposts. I asked you a question.
Oh,
You
okay.
people protested subsidy 12 years ago. If you had done subsidy 12 years ago, was that a good idea or a bad idea?
I did not protest subsidy 12 years ago.
Okay, oh yeah, now, oh yeah,
I
you're not
12
ready,
years ago, I did
brother.
not protest subsidy.
I've enjoyed my time. I will fall back. Yusuf, back to you, brother.
Yusuf,
Go ahead.
Yusuf, can I make my own submission, Yusuf?
Dozie, go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
man.
Dozie.
Go ahead, Dozie.
All right. Good afternoon, guys. It's nice listening to you guys, talk with all form of decency and stuff. Before I start, I would want to acknowledge and celebrate the person of Yaradua. May God bless him. May God bless Yaradua. To be frank and honest with you, I wished Said was here. I would have, made some points and just dropped my submission. I was listening to him very well, where he was saying, if you don't want to see what the leadership is doing, you see the bad sides, this and that, no problem, that we would not see it and stuff. You see, we are all youths and we are all Nigerians. Nobody is more Nigerian than the other. That after Yaradua and Jonathan and, we started having some kind of leadership, wrong leadership, bad governance going on in the Buhari regime, and then now we are here. You see, a tree cannot make a forest. If you are enjoying what is going on in the current government, if you are enjoying it, I tell you, if you are enjoying what is going on, you are definitely and you are not, being interested in what your neighbor is going through as regards the current economic policies of this government, I tell you, you are not being fair to the nation. It is leadership shouldn't be one-sided. It should be everybody carried along. And I wanted to tell him that if you, everybody, our eyes are open. I love Tinubu so much. In fact, I have a sister who is married to his area. So I don't have a problem with anybody or any Nigerian. I just want a Nigerian that works for everybody. If I am okay in my house and my neighbor is not okay, then there is something wrong with me. You talk about, Said was talking about the current government, they are fixing this, they are fixing that. Let's take, for example, hospitals. All our leaders are or should be influencers, role models of this country called Nigeria. If you say you have built a hospital or a 100% health center that is good for the Nigerian people, that every leader should be the first to use such a hospital. How many of your leaders, if sick, enters these hospitals? Let us tell ourselves the truth. As I'm speaking here, I am crying and I am sober. I am a Yoruba man, I am an Igbo man, and I am an Hausa man. If you doubt me, I will speak the three languages together for you. I am one person who wants Nigeria to work for all. That Buhari made certain mistakes with trying to ensure we have good governance that shouldn't mean that the current government should also walk in such footsteps. We have the chance. The South has the chance right now to get it right. Everybody just wants a Nigeria that works. We are not in the business of insulting anybody. If Tinubu wakes up tomorrow morning and brings everyone who has stolen the Nigerian money, the public funds of this country, and put them on underground and recover all these funds and make sure we have world-class health centers and have security and have good roads and have good health systems. I tell you, everybody in less than 30 seconds will start to sing Tinubu's praises. I'm not talking nonsense. In less than 30 seconds from now, people will begin to sing his praises. If you want, leadership is not a hard task. It's not something that is hackling. It's not a hackling task. It is a task that if you start to do the right things, the people will start to celebrate and drum your praises. Even the people that are castigating or criticizing the current government would even begin to celebrate, or they will all move aside and begin to sing the praises of the current government. How many of us can beat our chests and say there is security in Nigeria? I was shocked this morning when I was listening to Buratai, who once occupied the top security position of this country, talking about Tinubu he should lock down the entire country and clean up these elements, these criminals that are causing insecurity. He had the chance. Why didn't he do it? Why didn't he do it? When Jonathan was in power, I know the things that Mr. Tinubu said about Jonathan's wrong governance, bad governance strategies. I know those things he said. Now this is his chance. Let us stop as youths, stop giving excuses for these leaders in power. In every nation, there is a head. In every house, there is a head. In every gathering or organization, there is a head. If somebody is running stomach, is having a running stomach, it is very obvious that he must have taken poison. There is only one way that poison goes into the body perfectly well, and it is through the mouth. Where is the mouth? The mouth is on the head. Until we get the head right, we will continue to go from pillar to post. Some of us will come on space and will continue to talk about the current government and how we are criticizing it and stuff. How many of you is buying bread 250? Please come outside and show me where you are buying your bread 250. Even there was a time when you ask how much is bread and they say 250. People will start to criticize and fight the person selling. Why can't I get it for 200? How many of you can come outside now and say you have good health system in your environment? Most of the hospitals that we have currently in Nigeria is just glorified big structures. There is nothing inside. That is why your politicians and your leaders are going out of Nigeria to cure themselves. Spend days. There is a lot of medical vacations going on in this country by the multi-billionaires who have stolen our taxpayers' money. And I want to remind us youths that is supporting bad governance in this country. The money that is being looted belongs to you. It is your money. It is your money. The person holding it does not have two heads like you, like more than you. You can be the one holding that money. That taxpayer's money belongs to you. You can be the one wielding that money. You can be the one who can pocket that money. But if we have good government, good governance, a good head, that money would be used for everybody in this country, ranging from the south, southeast, southwest, northeast, north central. Everybody would be singing praises to the good head. Enough is enough. Let us stop praising and supporting bad governance. It is getting out of hand. Nigeria is now looking like a banana republic. That you are safe in your homes and you are watching the news and seeing people tied with white cloths on the ground. It's not because you are special. It is because it is not yet your turn. Let us speak out and call this government to fix insecurity in this country. Some people cannot move from Lagos to another state anymore. Some people cannot move from Lagos to Abuja without being kidnapped. Some people cannot move from Abuja by road to the north. That is why our airplanes has become taxi buses. Every day they are fighting on planes. Before, we have the planes were not in the news. It was our main roads. But because there is no longer security on our roads, even the least person will save up 250,000, 700,000, or sorry, 300,000 to fly the plane. Everybody is going through the air right now. How many of our politicians can drive, can the governor of Osun State drive from Abuja to Osun State without his security? Let us tell ourselves the truth. If the head is bad, we will continue to have running stomach. As I'm talking to you, there are people that were killed in a certain state in Nigeria. So many people. And we are just celebrating and fighting ourselves, talking about what we shouldn't even be talking about. Let us focus on the right issues. Nigeria can work if we have the good head. Look at most of the drugs that are being circulated in Nigeria today. Your drugs are fake. Many of the drugs most of you are taking is fake. Many of them. Some of us does not have the right malaria drugs. We're in the rainy season. When you used to have a lot of malaria symptoms here and there. You take one malaria drugs, the next minute you are feeling symptoms of malaria again. It is because we have bad drugs in the system. And why do we have these things being sold in our society today? Because we have a bad head. Because we have somebody at a particular section of this country who is not checkmating the drugs that we take. I don't benefit anything from speaking against a government that is not working. I don't. But let me tell you what many of you do not know. Some of us are even, submitting contracts and benefiting and doing our jobs from many of us supporting this government are not even close to this government. Some of us are just supporting the government because he's my brother. If I have an Igbo brother as president and he fucks up and he does not reach out to other tribes in this country and fix the nation properly, I will castigate him. I will criticize him to the last. That is the difference between me and so many other people supporting bad governance. When Buhari was president, I spoke against him being one-sided. Most of the elected positions were from the north, and I spoke against it. We did not have good health systems. I spoke about it. Please, enough is enough. Talking about the boots in Japan, please, we are a country of different tribes. We can pick people from the southwest, southeast, northeast, and south, and everywhere. Let them come up with certain discoveries of which other countries like Japan, businessmen in Japan can come and invest in. You can gather them as Nigerians, sew a uniform, a Nigerian, all of them come with their attires and remain in that booth and sing the national anthem and join hands together and tell the world, this is what we have brought. We are one country bound in love. This is what we have brought from our various geopolitical zones. And we have come to showcase them to the world. Please come into Nigeria and invest. If we are not united as a nation in love, we will continue to disgrace ourselves on the international platform. There is a tree currently being exported from Ghana by the Ghanaians and is being exported to the United States. A tree. And what is this tree used for? The tree is used to work seriously on their the fashion. They said the extracts from that tree can help in fashion and so many other things. That tree is known as the cyber tree in Ghana. I was looking at a video of many of those trees uprooted and being carted away in containers from Ghana. Somebody must have taken a tree, that particular tree, to somewhere maybe in the US, and marketed that tree to the American people and told them what the tree can be able to do, and how the way the tree can work on their economy and make their economy better. So the American government bought into it, and now they are coming to take the trees, and they are paying as they are taking those trees away. They're exporting and they are paying the Ghanaian government. We can do these things in Nigeria. Let us unite. That booth should not only showcase Adire and what have you. Nigeria is big and we are blessed. Let us unite in love and speak as one. Please, Nigerians are crying. People cannot eat 3 square meal anymore. Some people are even fighting with 1 square meal, and somebody is supporting bad governance. I wish us well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dozier. I guess I will stand in for the host and
Hold
the
on.
co-host now. They've went to
Can you
pray.
guys hear me?
Deji, we can hear
Okay,
you.
sorry guys. Once you speak, I'll just drop you because I don't know. Elon Musk is not letting me bring on more people than we have right now. So just have to bear with me.
Okay.
All right, go on.
Yeah.
Deji,
Me.
excuse me, I'm not spoken since.
Oh wait,
I
sorry,
have got
sure.
to.
Unamdi actually came before you. I beg, no vex.
I'm not sure that
Don't
is
worry.
No,
true.
that is
No,
true
let
actually.
him speak.
That is true. But
Let him
Okay.
oh, yeah, go on.
speak.
Unamdi is a gentleman.
I have got two salient issues to bring up, and I guess that's going to be my conversation going forward, because I think a lot of you are caught up in the cycle of 4 years of elections, so you don't even see the destruction that is going on just before you. So the number one is, I recently had reasons to look into the numbers, and I found out that if you have been saving towards the pension scheme in Nigeria, which is mandatory, by the way, when you work in some certain organizations, they deduct it at source. You and your employer is getting ripped up by the Nigerian political system. Both of you and your employer are getting ripped off by the Nigerian political system. And I make bold to say that because I figured that inflation has been going gaga, particularly if you look at it since 2010, 2009, but I pinned my data around 2008. And I found out that we've lost close to 958% in the value of the naira, which inherently is suggesting that if you have 1 naira, then you will definitely have just about 0.0001 now. Why am I saying this to you? I'm saying this to you because I'm saying the Nigerian political system is preparing you for a future where you will have to go and beg people in political offices before you could fend for your family, before you could take care of yourself. On a situation as well where they are giving your kids loans now that they will eventually take your home for, because you may not be able to pay back. Further, to substantiate my position, I put 50,000 into the model that I worked with, and the 50,000 in the model shows me that 50,000 in the year 2008, if you want to bring it into now in terms of what it can afford in 2008 and now, in 2008, if you want to buy that same thing now, you will need not less than 500,000 on the average to buy those things that your 50,000 can buy in 2008. It may not make sense to most of us, but I will take you back a little bit into history. Somewhere around 1987 and 1988, there was a devaluation of the Nigerian currency. That was where I started from. And you figure that the people who were pensioners around that time, they are largely, because there are two systems of pension that I know. There is the defined benefit scheme, and then there's the contributory system, wherein your employer contributes, you contribute. But under the defined benefit scheme, it's largely a case wherein you have a certain amount that you are going to be receiving when you retire. It doesn't change. But under the contributory pension scheme, you and your employer contribute. In the Nigerian case, I think it's around 7.5% by employer or 8%, and your employer matches what you have contributed. So if you are earning 100, naira, it means that your employer would have remitted 16 naira every month of your income, which means 8 naira out of your 100 would have gone out, which means 92 would have come to you. Inherently, what that suggests is that every 100 naira you're earning, you are keeping 8 away. For further context, I was talking about devaluation earlier. Let me finish that. So what I figure is almost every 10 years, there is a sudden devaluation of the Nigerian naira. When this devaluation happens, there's usually the promise of you having a better life in the nearest future, until another one happens around 8 to 10 years. Yeah, even before that 10 years, you will see that naira still gets devalued one way or the other. But one thing you must note is that there is usually one steep version almost every 12 years. So when those steep version happens, it means people who have been saving all their lives to have a good retirement eventually gets to experience significant poverty when they retire. Because most of us, considering how old we get into schools, on the average, the average graduating age in Nigeria is around 27 years old. When you put that side by side with the fact that most folks are expected to retire around 65 years, it leaves you in a place where you understand that Nigerians probably works just for 38 years. So most often than not, the new generation of people that are going to be launched into the poverty that the recent devaluation will cause, they don't know yet. They probably are just 10 years in or 5 years in, but they will continue to save, they will continue to work hard, which is why most often when you look around you, the people who are enjoying retirement are probably people who worked abroad, who never had to keep their money anywhere else, except for maybe in the 401k. So the conversation I'm trying to bring up in that length is to say, he said that the Nigerian system, through the legislator and the Nigerian Pension Commission, allows the pension fund administrators to invest your money outside of this country. Yeah, you can guide them not to invest in things that are volatile, yes, but allow them the room to invest in foreign currency assets, so that at the end of the day, whenever they want to pay you back as a person, they're able to pay you back in foreign currency, which will to some extent help you to hedge the devaluation risk. And the devaluation is not too far away from what is happening with the local inflation numbers. Secondly, we are also trying to find a way, to ensure that contributing towards pension is no longer something that is mandated, or treated as mandatory, like we currently have it within the Nigerian climate. Why am I saying so? In some other parts of the world, folks have the room to actually open some account towards their pension, but they manage the assets in there by themselves. If you go to the countries where those are applicable, most of the folks that you see, if they think the country is not stable, they invest their money in foreign assets. And let me give you some perspective as well, which I think might help. When you look at the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, NSIA, if you see any person who is working there, ask them, where do you invest Nigeria's sovereign wealth? When it comes to investing Nigerian sovereign wealth, except for the infrastructure fund, the other funds, they are investing largely in US Treasury, stocks in the US market. They know themselves that there is instability locally, so they are putting Nigerian sovereign wealth in foreign assets. But the money of workers like myself and you, that is small money, where we supposed to use old body when we retire. Then they put them for Nigerian market and say then they mobilize asset resources towards local development, which my pidgin is bad, sorry, which I think we're suffering for. My second conversation, because that's the first one, and finishing that first one, is to say I am making a call to action so that we can actually, if the Nigerian system cannot take all of NSIA's money, if they believe in what they are doing, you will invest in yourself and put it in yourself.
The thing that Tinubu is doing now is not out of character. Like, assuming Tinubu came and he was doing well, that's when I'll be shocked. Right? Me, my job now is just to tell people that Tinubu is who he is. That's all I'm doing, because I know if I just stay like this to observe Tinubu, he must fuck up, he show me die. Like it is his nature. Go and look at his antecedents. That's how he is. That he went and blew 1.5 billion of people's money to buy cars for his wife. It is to be expected. He did similar things in Lagos. You see, what you want to talk? What's with that? What's you talk?
No, don't mind me, I beg, continue.
Okay,
No mind me. That mistake.
Yeah. So for me, right? For me, like I think the most, so that the people used to say like if you do bad thing, they will send you to hellfire to go and suffer. I think these days, if you do bad thing, they will reincarnate you as a Nigerian and make you an APC supporter that is defending Tinubu, because that is like hellfire. Like you would have to turn off your brain. You would have to, like, there are some things that you would say that your child, if you have not indoctrinated your child will look at you, 5-year-old look at you and say, Daddy, that's a very stupid thing to say, Dad. Like, your dad look at you and like, Dad, are you sure you're my father? That doesn't really, like, you know.
I agree with you, boss.
No, I'm saying, bro, like, I'm not making these things up. I wish I was. Sometimes I wish, because this is my country, right? This is the land of my fathers. I don't have another one. Even if I go to another country and stay there for 20 years, like, my roots are still traced back to here. Like, there is no escaping it for me. You heard what this brother was saying. Say, the people carry on a pension, they gamble based on inflation and devaluation. Your money is becoming valueless. And, like, it's crazy. Somebody is telling you they are giving you student loan. Bro, student loan to do where? Like, he said, there was one of Deji's place where he said, Coastal Road to where? Like, student loan to where? Where are they going to work? And then you are telling them that, yes, they don't have to pay back the loan until they get work. When are they going to get the work? When? Insecurity, 2 years in, insecurity never solved. You never even taste power. Subsidy is gone. I said it here on this page that Nigerian life normally no get value, right? Because you would have just sat down to think, if I say subsidy is gone, how many millions of people go die? You know, say Nigeria will not really get statistics. It show me, say, at least if they small.
But German,
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, they hear you.
Just based on facts, say Buhari don't they come out subsidy shot before
they don't come again. Finish.
No,
guys.
Finish.
No, I just they provide facts.
I don't even know how Vilile managed to snatch and grab the mic. Unamdi was supposed to go next. Anyway, let the guy speak. Oh, I beg. He don't today for here, Unamdi.
Nnamdi talk, in the APC, we don't really wait for our turn. We snatch and grab. Nnamdi, mute your mic and talk. Make I mute my mic, because Dejina don't behave like INEC, we go church.
Nah, it be like say this they talk we una they talk now. I just want to swallow everybody. Belele, you just did the talk, they run mouth. You are a sharp guy. I see your sharpness. Okay, Deji, thank you very much. See, I don't even get much to talk. Sinosho don't even carry everything within my mouth. You understand? But for people where they talk, say Tinubu, he go Japan, go bring us deals, this one, that one. I still they ask this question. Who won't come invest for this country where security no dey? Who want to invest in a nation where rule of law is not adhered to? Like, so Oyibo man go live. You now see why most of the time when Chinese come here and the Libyans come here, they useless our citizens. Why? Because the government give them free pass. You can imagine the kind of backyard, deals that they make for a Chinese man to leave his country, invest here, and rubbish our citizens. You go see all these people where they even own 7-Up. Go 7-Up, may you see how they take rubbish people. So, like, most of the time, you see how these nationals from other countries, they just come in here and deal with us. Why? Because they know, say, we no get rule of law. We no get them at all. Okay? And they know, say, governments where we even support, they no kukuma care for us. Because if they care for us, other people go come care for us. Now, how you take advertise your house outside? You now see the reason why anytime where people go outside, they go defend their mama well. If they no defend their mama well outside, if stranger come your house, he go rubbish your mama. The government today, in fact, past government self, they don't even care for us. Because if they care for us, they will represent us well outside. Now, you see people coming to tell us that you are not representing your nation very well. Is the government of the nation representing the country itself? They don't represent us well. Then, how we won't take happy to even represent our country well? In as much as it is important to make everybody do their own best, you understand? But I think my people say, if water bad, it bad from the head. Water way bad from the head. Because if the head no dirty, the other parts of the body no go dirty. Now, speaking on the topic, President Tinubu's show of shame in Japan, I won't follow one particular angle where I just want address, because now most of the APC folks, they talk say Nigeria don't grow in non-oil exports, say this one, that one, ever since they float the naira, this Nigeria's oil exports, it cannot be compared to our non-oil exports, agriculture, this one, that. Okay, fine and good, I hear you. Now, Tokyo called Africans to come and display what you think can prompt me to come and invest in your country. What is that thing that you think you have that I can, be encouraged to come and invest in your nation? And it was supposed to start on the 20th of August. Other African nations. I saw Sudan and Eswatini, they had brochure. In fact, some people were selling tourism. I saw nations selling tourism. I saw other people with what they had, like, their brands that they were advertising. And you see private investors. You are telling me that it was not really necessary to man the boots. Okay, you are having bilateral talks with the Japan government. What about private investors that are moving around? People will be saying, you don't even know them. You don't know them. They move around that place. They look for something where go catch their eye. And then you will call yourself the giant of Africa. On the 20th, where you suppose bring, in fact, now you even suppose the happy self. I see the Ashoke where they hang for that place. On the 20th, where you suppose bring better things, bring out that your gold, bring out that your cocoa where they always boast of, bring out your cassava flour, bring out your plantain, bring out this one, bring them, show how you are packaging it, make it very, very delightful. And some shots where we say if they see them, you go catch them. You tell me, say you they inaugurate with it. What you they inaugurate? You they inaugurate with him when other people are busy displaying their goods, and you are coming to tell me that you are having backyard talks. Man, you are not serious. Because in that instant, it just shows, see, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs don't even know what they are doing. When the naira has been floated, the reason why you are going out to seek for foreign investments is because you want investors to come in so that the naira can grow. But for Ministry of Foreign Affairs no even know what in their ministry they do. That's just the thing. And who is responsible? Tinubu was also there. He cannot tell me that he did not know what was going on. He cannot tell me that he did not know the people who were supposed to man that booth. If he says he doesn't know who was to man that booth, then it means that he's not a serious president. He's not a serious president. Because he is accountable to Nigerians. He's accountable to Nigerians. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is accountable to him. They were supposed to be the ones to actually, give him brief on what is going on, even at the moment. But I saw one of them drinking tea. You went to Japan to go and drink tea. When other African countries were busy showcasing what they were selling. Then, men, we are not serious. There is no way our foreign investment can grow. Forget about this one. We are hearing $30 billion was attracted. The other time they told us that Maersk invested 600 million naira. All those things are just commitments. They are not yet factual. Even Maersk came out to deny it. Okay, so if we keep on living in delusion and lies, we can never grow as a nation. Me, I don't care whether you be LP or APC or obedient. I know me, I be pan-Nigerian. I dey like make Nigeria dey alright. Okay, so I know they support any particular group. My own be say, yes, thank you. My own be say, if you enter inside there, do well. So if we really want to judge by what Tinubu and Foreign Affairs went to Japan to do, they really failed woefully. Because at the end of the day, we will be here to know how many foreign investments they were able to accrue after all this their movement. Thank you. I yield the mic.
Thank you. All right. Quickly.
Deji, I want to ask a question, but no begs, Deji.
Okay.
Like, have you seen any picture of our stand? Because up to now, is that empty one I'm seeing on the timeline? That's where
They
did
don't
you
even
exhibit
come up
anything?
for Japan. Why they find picture?
I know, but throughout the program, Deji, was that how our table was? Because it be like say me, I never see any picture.
No, now they
I
later
wanted to
moved.
sure.
Now they later moved. They later brought people to come and where we say people can't start to they abuse them again. Say then go hang something for one shine clothes for
Nah, that's okay.
for anyway. I will send it to you.
No
I'll send it
wahala.
to you. But yeah, they later filled it up. We haven't heard from I think Joseph and Tobena. And then we'll now open the space up. By that time, I go don't reach out. There are some things I want to do before I close this space. All right, so let Tobina go first, and then Joseph come after.
All right. Thank you so much, Deji. Yusuf, I see you, co-host. Man, I just want to talk about the other
Wait,
dude.
wait. By the way, guys, I hope you know that Hidoi is a Japanese word. Have you been curious enough to check what that means? All right. That was exactly what, according to some people from the grapevine, that was what those Japanese investors were saying when they were at that empty booth. Hidoi. All right. Go on, Tobina.
From that Idoye, it sounds like it's idiot or something. But anyway, Sha, I just wanted to talk on Mr. Ayodeji. To be honest, what he said, he reminds me of someone I know that stays in Canada. I've not met this dude, and I've not met this dude before, but my sisters recommended me. They were like, "Oh, you can use this guy to send money anytime you want to send money back home." I said, "Okay." I've not met him before, but anytime I send him money, this guy credits the people for a very long time, 3, 4 years. I've been doing this with this guy. Like, he just reminds me of him. You know why? Because you see what he said? He just said nothing but the reality. He first brought out something that happened to him, like the pension and everything, something he can relate with. You know what I'm saying? And then he now broke it down and then, explained something. He didn't say more, but he just talked about the pension. You know what I'm saying? The guy is very, very, very smart. I can trust him with my finance. I don't know him. But I know I'm saying that because I think we need to start promoting that too. The people that we can trust, promote them. Say good things about people when they say good things. Talk about them in rooms that they cannot bring themselves into. You call names. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very important. Someone like Mr. Deji, from Mr. Ayo Deji, listening to him, kudos. Now, when it comes to the reality of it, right, I a lot of things will make sense. The fact is that 80 to 90% of the people that will come on this space right now to talk about Nigeria will mostly complain. If they had anything good to say, it would be just on something, maybe their relatives they want to see, or maybe, food, culture, just those kind of things. Because the reality is those are the only things that we actually own. In Nigeria, we own our food, our language, our culture, and bro, that is kind of it. We might think that we own the lands, but not yet. Till when they discover like a resource or something there, then you realize that you don't even own that property too. So it's that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so bad that I don't call. It's not. If you look at that and check the word colony, I think to me, if you ask me, this is the only way things can make sense to me. Is I don't think we actually amalgamated from a colony to a country. I don't think it can everybody that come up here will say something that will blow your mind again that you didn't even know of. You probably know of the basic corruption here and there, this and that, but you didn't even know there is more. There will be nothing that anybody will say, come here now and say, oh, okay, this is what has happened that is good. You know what I'm saying? How would you get investors to come in when there is no good news? Good news is rare. You understand what I'm saying? But how I don't go feel blame anybody. We'll just a blame game. Hey, like, it's you. It's not going to solve anything. The reality is that it's not a country, but they don't want to say it, so they want to keep whining us. That's what they want to do. Just want to keep whining us for a very long time that it's a country, and then you just hear things like you go out for a show, or like you go get investors, and you go to Japan and you can't even show anything, and you're telling them to like, who would you tell this thing that will sit down and say, oh, that makes sense? You can't explain things that happen in Nigeria. You just can't explain it. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? It just happens, and we really have to like. When are we going to stop? Like, when are we going to say, okay, so you know what? You don't use my head. Don't worry. You don't use my head. I don't tire. My head, they pay me. This thing has to stop. When are we going to actually say that? It's very, very important because things like what Mr. Ayodeji said can only happen. It can only happen in a country that is not sane. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if we want good life, good things only happen in countries that are people abide by law. There is actually people are actually voted into offices and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It happens. You have to be smart. You have to be able to. You have to be able to attract investors. Different projects. They attract people to. Oh wow, that's good. I'm going to put my money in that. It also has to do with the currency too. So these guys, they are just playing with us. That's what they are doing every day. And I just games. So my own, I just want to round this up. We have to know when to call this. Stop this thing. This game where they play with us, stop am. Because nothing will make sense here. Nothing. All the thing we go talk here, no, you go just dey hold your head. Ah, ah, do you think I'm this stupid that I don't know? Ah, look at what you're doing to me. Koro koro, every day you go dey whine me. No, no. To be honest, man, that's the side I'm on. I know from now till tomorrow there's issues. But me, I always be on the side on when the actions are ready, when we're ready to move. I'm there. That's all. Thank you so much. And cheers, guys. I'll be in the listening section.
A lot of
The next speaker can go. Yeah, the next speaker can go, please.
a lot of the thing is that a lot of Nigerians are just very, very gullible. Like, you people fall for the simplest things, which is absurd, and it doesn't even make any sense because you talk about you want to change, and majority of you youths supported Peter Obi. From Peter Obi's antecedents, this is not an attack on anybody. I'm just talking in general. From Peter Obi's history or his time in office, his previous office, did it show any sign of progress? Did it show any sign of taking a path forward or innovation? No, it did not. It was just a typical Nigerian governor. Okay, he saved money. It was physically conservative. It was physically conservative. Okay, that's fine. We need our politicians to be physically responsible, just like any other politician, like in the world. You have to be responsible with the money, or any business or any human being with the money that is afforded to you. You have to be responsible with it. Where I'm going with this is that clearly now everybody's complaining about Tinubu. in 2025. But in 2023, I believe if Peter Obi has stayed in PDP and gone through the process like any other politician in any type of the world, just because it's Nigeria, you have the chance to just be jumping from one place to another. If Peter Obi was still in PDP, there will not be Tinubu today that everybody's complaining about. It's just a fact. But at that time, everybody was blinded with the thing about Nigerian politics is that you have to know that none of them, nobody is saint. The person that is even coming to portray saint to you is the worst saint because you don't know his true intentions. The how you need to identify people is politicians, good politicians that actually work for the people. Is based on their antecedents and what they did in previous office. What did this person in his 8 years in office, how did the state improve? How did what did it innovate? Like what new things did it bring? Did this person build a university? What was the the IGR before this guy into the office? What IGR when he left office? Important things like that. You people will not settle down and let's analyze candidates. To be fair and to be honest, Tinubu is not going anywhere. He's going to spend his 8 years and it's sacrosanct. There's no doubt about it. Tinubu is going to be there for 8 years. I don't want him to be there for 8 years, but you people have to be realistic with the time, even with the politics that is going on right now. Is it going to be the only way we can have a chance of changing Tinubu is if all of you that abuse Peter Obi, that dragged him out of PDP, you have to drag him back, and we consolidate into APC PDP. Because if there's APC, PDP, ADC, you already know the answer to it. And everybody should just go and be getting ready. We should all go get ready for 2031 because that's the only time we'll have a chance to change this government. My own is that we just have to be realistic to the landscape of the political structure of the country. Not everything is emotions. You have to be very, very, because to article, we would have been in 2025 right now. We'll be getting ready for Peter Obi's presidency in 2027. But now Tinubu is there. He's going to spend his 8 years, and there's nothing that's going to happen there, and there's no change that's coming. Tinubu, Tinubu, yes, is not doing as expected, but you have to give credit where credit is due. The floating of the naira is a great initiative for the economy. I'm never going to go deep into it because I was here earlier and I explained the FDI and the. But right now, why are we even focused on FDI when there's multiple businesses, millions of businesses in Nigeria that need help, that need um, loans or grants, SMBs that we can grow a lot of these small businesses because in America, small businesses power the economy. A lot of small businesses. Everybody got a business. Everybody's encouraged to own a business. Give people this incentive to start their life. Like if you can't get a job, you start a life. You went to Japan. You don't know Japan is a manufacturing um, company. Why don't you go one on one to one of these companies? Oh, as the president of the country, they will listen to you. Go, oh, you guys come set up instead of looking for money and handouts here and there. Come set up your manufacturing hub in Enugu. Come set up your manufacturing hub in Ogun State, in Zamfara, anywhere in the country, so we can be able to get remittance when we export the cars out. It's just common sense knowledge that a lot of these leaders don't have. So my own is that everybody can talk from now to tomorrow, but 2027 is already a done deal, unless everybody is consolidated. And PDP, we are not doing nothing with Atiku, because Atiku has already shown that his ambition is bigger than his love for the country. And that kind of person should never be president, because if you're willing to sabotage your party that's given you the opportunity to contest
I
twice,
don't know. I don't know. Waiting concern article with this one again.
you don't.
Oh
Wait,
boy,
I don't
you
Omo,
understand.
know what I'm saying. You listen
Waiting
to what I'm
I
saying.
don't
concern
tire.
article with waiting with they talk. God.
But you
Yusuf,
listening,
Yusuf,
to
waiting
what
they
I'm saying,
talk now.
bro.
To
You didn't even let me
to
land.
boy,
Deji alarm. The space they recorded.
No,
Alarm. Alarm. I beg.
oh boy.
like you just
Wait,
you
I
just
didn't
interject.
interject. I actually listened.
Baba,
Hold on,
calm
please.
down.
Bro,
Toby,
I'm
calm
saying,
down.
We don't. I don't want to. I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry.
bro, it's not about. I'm not. No,
2027. No, those
that's what
are the
I'm
things
saying.
she said. This person got it.
No,
So I'm trying to,
No,
I'm
no.
trying to
What
correlate.
makes
I'm trying.
slightest bit, but I am also not going to sit by and allow you mess up the chances of a potential coalition candidate. Okay, that is it. Enter you before you know it.
can point out and be like, okay, this is a legacy that we have. Okay, even just in 4 years, because things change in 4 years. Joe Biden only had 4 years, and he did amazing well in those 4 years. So a lot can be done in 4 years. Jonathan had how many years? 5 years.
Do a debate between Jonathan's first 2 years and Tinubu's first 2 years. Apparently, the person who was supposed to speak in favor of Jonathan's first 2 years has been on that space for 2 hours, but no Tinubu supporter has been able to come up to play the striker for their Lord and Savior. In case there's
Deji,
any,
Deji,
in
break the
case
space and make I tag CBU.
is
Put the
Ayo,
space for down.
Is Ayo space. So in case you are here, so in case you are here